My beloved child, stop everything you are doing right now. This is not a suggestion, and this is not a coincidence. It is a summons. I, the Lord your God, am commanding you to open this message not just with your eyes, but with your spirit wide awake. You did not click on this by accident. I ordered this encounter. I scripted this exact moment before you ever felt the tug to listen. What you are about to hear is not just inspiration. It is a divine intervention. So do not just watch. Listen as if your next step depends on it, because it does. Stay until the very end. Stay through the fire. Stay through the silence. Heaven has something to release into your life that hell has tried desperately to stop. You have been asking for confirmation, and this is it. You have been waiting for the shift, and this begins it. As I speak, the atmosphere around you won't just change, you will change. So prepare your heart, steady your breath, and lean in close. You are now accountable for what I am about to say. I am not merely calling you, I am commanding you, not with a voice of threat, but with the voice of your Creator, whose love is too fierce, too holy, and too consuming to let you wander past this sacred moment unaware. I have not gathered heaven's attention, delayed angelic assignments, or interrupted your rhythm without an eternal purpose. I have waded through your wandering thoughts, through the daily chaos, and through the gentle pullings you have brushed off as mere coincidence. And now, I speak not softly, but with fire. You didn't stumble upon this moment. It didn't arrive by chance. I wrote it into your story before you drew your first breath. This message was woven into the threads of your timeline before your body ever carried your soul. It is not just something for your encouragement. It is something for your becoming. I crafted it with the same hands that formed the stars and wiped your tears. This word is alive. It has weight, and I command you now, open yourself fully. Not partially, not conditionally, but fully to me, to this voice that speaks from eternity straight into your exact location. You have longed for answers, and you have asked for signs. This is both. I did not send you a subtle whisper today. I sent you a summons. You do not need to earn this moment or qualify for it through good behavior. You were chosen to receive this, not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. And I will not let the distractions of this world drown out the message your soul has been aching to hear. I have seen how you have grown weary from waiting. I have seen how you have started to believe that maybe I had moved on, or that maybe I only speak loudly to others. But listen, beloved, this moment is drenched in my focus. I am commanding not from a distance, but from inches away. My presence is not waiting for you in a distant sanctuary. It is wrapped around you right now. As close as your breath, as near as your heartbeat, I am right here. And I need you to know this isn't a gentle nudge. This is a divine declaration breaking through your atmosphere. Open not just your ears, but the deep place, the part of you that stopped hoping, the part that is hidden beneath the performance. I want that part to awaken, because what I am about to say isn't meant for the surface. It is meant to shake foundations, realign paths, and reroute destinies. My child, the time for hesitation has expired. The season of wavering, of waiting, of wondering if it is really me tugging at the edges of your spirit, it is over. There are sacred seconds in your life that are so thick with purpose, so heavy with destiny, that they cannot be ignored without consequence. This is one of them. I etched this moment into the archives of eternity. Before your lungs ever drew breath, before you had thoughts, I had plans. And now, here it is, your moment. You have brushed up against many near encounters. You felt the almost answers, the almost breakthroughs, the almost openings. But this is not another almost. This is a divine absolutely, an eternal exactly, a heaven-timed here and now. I have waited through your detours, your delays, and yes, even your doubts. I did not withdraw when you second-guessed me. I did not retreat when you turned your attention elsewhere. I remained. I watched not with frustration, but with fiery patience, waiting for this breath, this heartbeat, this window in time to arrive. And now that it has, I will not whisper. I will not hint. I will declare. I have seen how the distractions dressed themselves in duty. Good things pulled you away from the God thing. The sacred was traded for the safe, the eternal exchanged for the immediate. But I didn't stop speaking. I simply waited for the weight of distraction to break under the pressure of your longing. You kept yourself busy while your spirit grew barren. You smiled publicly while you screamed silently in private. And still, I waited. Still, I remained. Still, I watched over the blueprint I placed inside you, because I knew this moment was coming. I knew the hour would arrive when all the lesser voices would grow tired and your soul would finally quiet itself enough to hear mine again, not faintly, but fully. And now, beloved, you have arrived. The fog is lifting. The chaos is cracking. The clock of heaven has struck your name. No more delay. No more compromise. No more consulting your fears before following my voice. I am not requesting your agreement. I am commanding your attention. This is not a casual command. This is a holy collision, a divine disruption, breaking through the dull rhythm of days that tried to lull you into apathy. I am commanding this. Not because I want to control you, but because I want to catapult you into purpose, into promise, into peace. You have tolerated too many half-truths, internal negotiations, and spiritual numbing. I didn't make you to blend in. I didn't mark you for mediocrity. I set you apart before you even knew what set apart meant. And now, the time of turning has come. The hour of alignment is here. I won't allow you to keep feeding yourself with crumbs when I have prepared a feast. You have asked me to speak. You begged me to confirm. But now I am going beyond confirmation. I am issuing a command. Heaven has shifted position. The realm of angels is activated. What I am about to unfold through your obedience is so personal, so precise, that hesitation cannot come with you. It has to stay behind. You must leave it like a worn-out garment that no longer fits the fire of your future. I didn't bring you here to flatter you. I brought you here to free you. I didn't summon you to comfort your ego. I summoned you to confront your destiny. The time has passed for gentle nudges. This is the sound of my hand pounding on the door of your spirit. It is time to wake up, to rise up, and move. Not out of fear, but out of holy fire. This isn't about striving, it is about surrender. And child, you are standing in the divine crosshairs of everything I have been preparing behind the scenes. What looks like a coincidence to the world is a convergence in heaven. The path is already unfolding beneath your feet, but you must walk it with urgency, clarity, and trust. No more glancing back. No more entertaining second options. This moment is singular. This command is sacred, and it carries your name. You have asked me, God, just speak clearly. Please make it plain. And now I have. This moment is not wrapped in mystery. It is unveiled glory. You asked for a sign, so I gave you a sentence. You asked for confirmation, so I gave you a command. This is not a riddle, child. This is revelation. And not just any revelation, it is my breath, my heartbeat, my intentions, compressed into words that your weary soul could recognize. Do you feel that trembling within you? That stirring in your chest? That is not anxiety. That is awakening. That is the witness of my spirit resonating with your spirit, saying, "This is it. I haven't come to dangle encouragement like a carrot. I have come to deposit divine clarity. You were born for this moment, and this moment was born for you. There are things I have held back, not because I didn't want you to have them, but because you weren't ready to carry them. But now you are ready. Not because everything around you is perfect, but because you have been perfectly positioned. You walked through the fire. You have wept through the waiting. You have learned how to trust me in the silence. And now that silence is breaking with sacred sound. I am pressing eternity into this moment. I am pushing heavenly blueprints into the soil of your timeline. And this message you are holding, it is not just information, it is impartation. It is spirit-born, time-sensitive, and dripping with the oil of purpose. It is me speaking not at you, but into you. This is not motivation. This is transformation. This is not encouragement for a hard day. This is equipment for a holy calling. You have been looking for external signs, shaking leaves, blinking lights, aligned numbers. But today, I bypass all of that and speak straight into your depths. I am the God who parts seas, yes, but I am also the God who speaks in sacred sentences that no one else hears but you. This is one of those sentences. You have my full attention, and I am demanding yours. This message is your answer. It is not loud because it doesn't need to be. It is not dramatic because it is already divine. When I breathe a word into your soul, child, it becomes more powerful than thunder, more piercing than lightning, more enduring than time, and this is that kind of word. My word for you right now. So take it in. Let it rewrite the narrative of doubt. Let it undo the lies you have believed for too long. This is me proving that I still speak and that I haven't changed my mind about you. I am not confused about your purpose. I am not distant from your pain. I am not undecided about your calling. I am fully aware, fully present, fully invested. And this word proves it. You don't have to wonder anymore. I handed you clarity. You don't have to strain for direction. I have spoken plainly. This isn't just good news. It is God news. Heaven is echoing with your name. Angels are aligning with your assignment. And this message is the evidence that what you once only hoped for is now unfolding in real time. My child, you have become familiar with my whisper. You have learned to recognize me in the gentle nudge, the sacred stillness, the holy hush in the middle of your chaos. But today, I am not whispering. I am not tucking my words between breaths. I am thundering. I am roaring. I am shaking the heavens and the earth with the urgency of my voice, because what I have to say cannot and must not be delayed. I am not thundering in anger, but in ardent affection. My voice is clothed in compassion, but carried on the winds of command. This is not the murmur of comfort, it is the mandate of heaven. You have asked me for clarity, and I have come not with a suggestion, but with a sovereign summons. What I am releasing right now carries the weight of eternity, the fire of purpose, and the signature of divinity. It has cost heaven much to arrive at your feet, and I will not allow it to be brushed off as mere inspiration. I thunder because your calling is too critical to be delivered quietly. I thunder because the destiny stitched into your DNA is demanding attention. You were never meant to live a life of quiet compromise, blending into the backdrop of Earth's noise. You were formed in fire. You were written into my story before there was time. You are not optional. You are essential. and I will not allow the enemy's whispers nor the world's weariness to drown out what I am roaring from my throne. Hear me now. This is not another encouraging phrase to hang on your wall. This is the divine decree that parts the sea, shifts the storm, and splits the silence that tried to suffocate you. I am thundering because I am transferring power. How? Strategy, direction, identity. I am declaring, depositing, and detonating what has been dormant inside of you. And it begins not tomorrow, not next year, but now. You have carried promises that felt paused. You have heard prophetic words that gathered dust on the shelf of your heart. You wondered, did I misunderstand? Did I miss my moment? No, child, you didn't miss it. You were simply in the prelude to thunder, and thunder always precedes the storm of glory. What is about to break loose will make sense of every silence. Every season of stalling, every space where you thought I had gone quiet, I didn't stop speaking. I was storing power, storing strategy, storing timing, and now all of it is being discharged like lightning through this word. And you're standing at ground zero of fulfillment. My thundering is your confirmation. It is not to scare you. It is to secure you, to awaken you, to remind you that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not floating aimlessly through days of delay. You are positioned, prioritized, and prepared. And now, child, the heavens are roaring, and they are roaring for you. Do not mistake this thunder as distant. This is not happening above you. It is happening for you and through you. My thunder is not abstract. It is aimed at demolishing the lies you believe, aimed at exposing the limitations you have placed on me, aimed at destroying the timidity that has kept you from stepping into the fullness of who you are. What I speak today holds eternal consequence. This is not an echo. It is a detonation. When I thunder, things shake, shackles snap, chains crumble, and the darkness that thought it had a hold on your future begins to tremble in terror. Because I am not just coming near, I am coming through. This is not poetry. This is power, and power always demands a response. I am commanding yours, not later, not when it is convenient, now. You have spent too long waiting for the nod of others before stepping where I already called you. You stood at the doorway of destiny, paralyzed not by fear, but by the need for human approval. But child, hear me clearly now. I did not consult their opinions when I wrote your name into my plans. I did not ask their permission to anoint you. I don't need the endorsement of man to move you into the next dimension. I only need your agreement. And I am calling for it now. You have been stalling, second-guessing, shrinking, measuring them. My voice through the sieve of your insecurities and the expectations of others. But I speak truth now that shatters delay. You cannot follow me while filtering me. My commands are not optional suggestions. They are holy directives, custom-fitted to your soul. And yes, they may defy logic, upset comfort, and challenge emotion, but they will never mislead your spirit. I don't need you to feel ready. I need your faith to rise up and say yes, even when everything else says wait. You have asked me for clear direction and then paused to make sure it felt comfortable. But faith was never meant to follow comfort. It was meant to crush comfort and move you forward by conviction. Look through Scripture. Has my voice ever catered to the comfortable? Did I ask Moses if the sea felt safe before parting it? Did I wait until David was fully armored before calling him into battle? Did I get Paul's full emotional buy-in before sending him into the storm? No. I spoke, and when they obeyed, I moved. And now I say to you, stop searching for alignment with feelings before obeying the fire of my word. You don't need perfect peace before moving. You need persistent trust. You don't need total understanding. You need complete surrender. I am not asking you to feel it. I am asking you to follow me anyway. Because obedience that waits for emotional validation is not obedience. It is delay. And child, delay has already cost you enough. It is time to shut the door on overthinking. Close the window to comparison. Pull the plug on doubt. I am not giving you an open-ended proposal. I am handing you a command that carries an eternal shift. And it won't wait for your emotions to settle before it moves. Your feelings are waves, child. But my word is rock. Stand on it. Trust it. Step onto the waters I am calling you to. And don't you dare wait for applause before you walk. The heavens are already erupting in celebration because they see what is on the other side of your yes. They see what is waiting on the other side of your surrender. The breakthrough, the beauty, the blueprints of legacy that hinge on this moment of obedience. So this is my command to you now. Stop negotiating with delay. Stop asking for peace when you already have presence. Stop waiting for comfort when I have given you confirmation. You don't need them to understand. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to believe that I am who I say I am, and that I will do what I said I will do. The door is open. The invitation is active. The command is clear. Obey me now and watch the impossible unfold like the pages of a book I have already written. The moment your faith moves, I will meet it with miracles. I don't need your comfort. I need your commitment. And child, if you give me that, I will give you everything. My beloved, this is not a time for conversation. It is a time for alignment. I am not extending options. I am establishing orders. What I am placing in your spirit right now is not one of many paths. It is the precise path I have carved through the chaos for you. This is not a buffet of possibilities. This is a blueprint of purpose. I am not bringing you feel-good affirmations. I am unfolding strategy, eternal strategy, the kind that doesn't just shift your emotions, but transforms your environment. You have had enough comfort to pacify your confusion. Now you need clarity to activate your calling. I am not here to make you feel better. I am here to make you bolder. I am not negotiating with your schedule, your fears, or your timelines. I am drawing your soul, yes, your weary, waiting, wondering soul, into supernatural synchronization with my will. And that kind of alignment cannot be partial. It must be total. Total focus, total faith, total surrender. You have looked to others for instructions, hoping someone could decipher the ache inside you. But no one else holds the schematic for your soul. I do. I am the architect. I wrote the code. I embedded my fingerprints into the foundation of your future. And no human map can navigate what I designed in secret. You have asked me, Lord, what do I do? And this is my answer. Obey me without delay. Follow me without flinching. Respond to me without routing it through logic. I am not issuing a casual word. I am commanding sacred cooperation, because this strategy doesn't just affect your next step. It alters the direction of legacy, lineage, and lives around you. There is a divine domino effect coded into every yes you give me. That is why the enemy has tried to drown you in distractions. That is why your spirit has been so weary. He knows what I placed in your obedience will ripple through generations. This is not just an invitation to move. It is an activation to govern. I am calling you into the command center of your spiritual purpose, not as a spectator, not as a wanderer, but as a weapon. I need your yes to be sharp, not soft. I need it to cut through the noise, not be muffled by it. I am placing divine intel in your hands. Words of knowledge, strategies of warfare, instructions that won't just improve your life. They will invade darkness. But I cannot deposit this into distracted hands. I cannot entrust this to hearts divided by preference and performance. I need your attention like the earth needs the sun, fully turned, fully fixed, fully faithful. You have said you want to know my will. Here it is. Obey what I have already spoken, and I will unveil what you have been asking. Strategy follows surrender. Revelation follows readiness. You are not waiting on more words. I am waiting on more weight. Weight behind your obedience, depth behind your devotion, and fire behind your footsteps. You do not need more time to think. You need more courage to move. You don't need another round of confirmations. You need to align your soul with the strategy I'm placing in your spirit right now. You are not too late. You are right on time. But timing without obedience still leads to stagnancy. So rise. Step into my rhythm. Sync yourself with heaven's sound. I have written this day into your destiny. I am not asking you to understand all of it. I am asking you to trust the one who sees beyond all of it. The God who is not bound by your calendar. The God who isn't coordinating your calling around your comfort. The God who is commanding your attention right now, not to control you, but to crown you with the clarity that comes from obeying without delay. This moment is sacred. Seize it. Let nothing steal it. Child, do not let the shadow of your past silence the sound of my calling. You were not chosen because you were flawless. You were chosen because your spirit responds. When others grew numb, you stayed tender. When others turned their heads, you turned your heart. I didn't select you based on perfection. I called you because of resonance, deep calls unto deep. And when I spoke, your soul stirred. Your tears weren't random. Your prayers weren't routine. They were resonating echoes, proof that even in your brokenness, you could still hear me. And that is what set you apart. Not your talent, not your timing, not your titles, but your tenderness, your ability to feel me in the fog, your choice to believe when belief cost you everything. That kind of resonance is rare. It cannot be taught. It cannot be forced. It is born in the secret chambers where faith survives without applause. I watched you when the crowd moved on, but you lingered. I saw the moment you paused, not because you had to, but because you wanted to feel me again. I saw how you walked away from things that everyone else chased. I saw how you silenced your own desires just to stay in step with mine. The world didn't notice, but heaven recorded every moment. Angels leaned in to listen when your whisper said yes in the dark. You didn't need lights, stages, or microphones. You just needed me. And because of that, I am now revealing what I concealed from others. I am now opening what was locked behind layers of time and testing. You passed tests others never saw. You remained loyal when no one checked in. You recognized my whisper when the world shouted its lies. And that recognition, that resonance, has positioned you for this very moment. Don't underestimate the power of resonance. It is not just emotional. It is spiritual. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. It is heaven's confirmation that your spirit was tuned to the right frequency. You didn't need the whole picture to keep walking. You just needed a sound. And now I am amplifying that sound. The whisper you once heard in secret is now becoming a shout in the spirit realm. I am broadcasting what was birthed in silence. I am elevating what was nurtured in hiddenness. And it is not because you performed your way into my presence. It is because you postured your heart to receive. That posture has power. That humility has weight. That resonance has unlocked realities others will only hear about. But you get to walk in them. Not because you were the loudest, the strongest, or the most celebrated, but because you were the most surrendered. Because when I called, you answered. So do not doubt why I have chosen you. It was never about your resume. It was always about your resonance. I chose you because you chose me when it cost you comfort. I picked you because you preferred presence over popularity. And now, child, the reward of recognition is resting on you. You are not here by accident. You didn't wander into destiny. You were woven into it. The sound you carry in your soul is the very echo of my voice. And I will amplify it in this season until nations tremble and darkness flees. Your recognition has become my release. And what I release through you will change everything. Beloved, I have not run out of words. I have waited for the stillness to say them. There are sacred scrolls, not made of paper but of your own soul, not written with ink but with attention. And I have waited until now, this moment, this breath, this divine hush, to open one of them. You've been looking for me in the thunder, hoping I would shout through the static. But instead, I waited for the storm to settle inside you. I waited for your inner world to be quiet enough for my voice to echo. And now I say, open the scroll, the one written in the ink of you, the one sealed with your surrender, the one that was hidden from every eye, including your own, until the hour of unveiling arrived. And child, that hour is here. I am not writing new things into your destiny. I am revealing what was already written but long concealed. This scroll has been locked not by distance, but by distraction. And now that you have stilled yourself long enough, I can speak what others cannot hear and show you what others were never meant to see. I am speaking to the core of you. Not the version others admire. Not the mask you wear in moments of strength. I am addressing the true you, the soul that sighs when the room is empty, the heart that has held hope on a thread of faith so thin it almost broke. That version of you is my favorite canvas. And upon that sacred space I am writing now, not with condemnation, but with covenant. Not with reminders of failure, but with revelations of the future. There are blueprints etched in your being, divine architecture embedded in your identity, and I am awakening them line by line. The scroll of your spirit is ancient and intimate. No one else carries it, and no one else can read it. It is encrypted with heaven's fingerprint and your DNA. And I will not allow another voice to interpret what only I can translate. Do not flinch if what I show you feels unfamiliar. The scroll contains things too holy to be grasped in shallow waters. It speaks of days you haven't yet lived, assignments that haven't yet unfolded, and authority you haven't dared to dream of carrying. But I say to you now, you are ready. That is why I waited. I waited until your hands could hold it, until your pride was crushed enough to walk in humility, until your distractions no longer demanded center stage. And now that you are still, even if trembling, I can release it. The scroll will not shout, it will not shine in neon. It will whisper through moments, through confirmations, through divine nudges that feel like déjà vu, but are actually destiny being remembered. And every word I write upon you now will align your path, unlock your power, and undo every lie that said you were unworthy to carry something this sacred. So open, child. Open wide the soul that once shrank back. Let me write again. I am not done with you. I am just beginning to reveal what I planted before the foundations were laid. Others have seen your struggle, but they have not seen your scroll. That is why I kept it hidden. That is why I preserved it. Because what I am writing now is too holy for public consumption, too precise for human praise. This is private prophecy, divine download, a scroll that will shape the rest of your journey. And the pen is in my hand. Just stay open, and I will keep writing. Child, listen with your whole self. This is not a pep talk. This is not a speech to lift your spirits for a few hours and then fade into forgetfulness. This is not comfort to soothe your wounds. This is activation. I am not just wrapping you in peace. I am handing you power. I am putting keys into your spirit right now. Not metaphorical keys, not poetic symbols, real spiritual authority in the form of revelation, strategy, and divine access. You have stood too long outside of rooms that were created for you. You have waited too long at doors that didn't recognize your knock. But that ends today. I am not asking for permission. I am not hoping the gatekeepers say yes. I am the gate, and when I hand you keys, no lock remains intact. No bolt can resist me. I am the breaker of barriers. And this message you are receiving, it is the turning of the lock. It is the shift of the hinges. It is the unlocking of what had been bound for far too long. You have walked with keys inside you and didn't know it. You have been praying for openings when I have been trying to show you that the authority has already been deposited. But now I make it plain. I make it visible. You are not waiting for the door to change. You are being changed so the door recognizes you. These keys are not handed to everyone. They are forged in fire, birthed in obedience, polished through pain. And I see now that your hands are ready to hold what I wouldn't release to you before. These keys will not open just opportunities. They will open identity. They will unlock your voice, your clarity, your calling. And just as they open, they will shut. They will shut the access points that pain keeps trying to reopen. They will shut the mouths of lies, the cycles of shame, the corridors where confusion once roamed. And here is what you must understand. Keys are not meant to be admired. They are meant to be used. This message is not something to read and file away under maybe later. This is not decorative prophecy. This is deployable truth. You must take what I say and apply it. You must walk to the doors I show you and place this authority into the lock without second guessing if it will work. It will work, not because you are powerful, but because I am the one who gave the key. And when I give with precision. I give with permanence. The doors you open with these keys will not shut unless I shut them. The ones you shut will not open unless I command it. This is spiritual legislation. You are not just receiving insight, you are receiving jurisdiction, authority to shift things in atmospheres you once felt helpless in. That is what this message is. That is why it carries weight. That is why I commanded you to open it, because in this very moment, your spirit is being authorized. So rise, take the key, hold it close, walk to the doors I highlight, even if they look rusted shut, even if you feel unqualified to hold what waits behind them. You are not holding an idea, you are holding instruction. You are not just being blessed, you are being commissioned. And when you move in alignment with this word, you will see things shift faster than they broke. You will watch walls fall with no hammer in your hand. Because when I give you a key, I also walk through the door with you. You are not alone in this unlocking. I am with you. And child, What I am opening for you cannot be shut by any man. You have been tired, child. I have seen it. Not the surface-level fatigue that a nap can fix, but the soul-deep, bone-heavy kind. The weariness that no one else sees when you smile. The heaviness you carry quietly. The inner exhaustion of holding on, holding faith, holding back tears when everything in you wanted to collapse. I have watched you walk through fire with a whisper of praise still on your lips. And yes, I have seen how the weight of waiting, the ache of unanswered prayers, and the silence of prolonged seasons have tempted you to believe you were finished. But listen to me now and hear it like thunder in your bones. Tired is not defeated. Worn is not worthless. Weary is not wasted. The enemy has tried to convince you that your tiredness means failure. But in truth, your tiredness only proves one thing: that you have kept going, that you have endured when quitting would have been easier. And that is not weakness, that is warriorhood. Even in the fatigue, I have preserved the flame. Even in the ashes, there is an ember. You have felt burned out, but you were not burned through. And now, in this moment, I breathe again into your depths. I don't just speak to your mind, I speak to your marrow. I command the spark within you to become a flame again. Not because of hype, not because of performance, but because my breath revives what delay tried to smother. I am not merely restoring your strength. I am reigniting your spirit. There is fire still inside you, not a flicker, not a memory, but a mandate, a holy, sacred ignition point that has waited patiently beneath the rubble of doubt and discouragement. And now I say, rise, flame of fire, burn again, not to destroy you, but to define you. This isn't fire for affliction, this is fire for function. This is passion reborn, clarity rekindled, power reactivated. You will not crawl into the next chapter. I will carry you into it with combustion. I am putting fire back in your prayers, weight back in your words, wind back in your worship. And the ones who thought you faded will soon witness the flames of my purpose shooting through your life with unstoppable force. This is not drama, it is destiny. This is not spiritual hype, it is holy combustion. You will burn again. Not for attention, but for assignment. You will walk in boldness, not because the weight disappeared, but because the wind of my spirit lifted you above it. The enemy thought you would sleep through your moment, but now the fire in you is waking everything around you. I didn't let you be buried. I let you be burrowed, hidden like coal in the cave, waiting for the strike. And this message is the match. So breathe deeply now, child. The breath you feel stirring inside you, it is not adrenaline, it is anointing. It is not just relief, it is resurrection. I didn't leave you in the valley. I stayed. I stood beside your brokenness and shielded the flicker from the winds of giving up. And now I say, with the authority of eternity, you will burn again. You will build again. You will believe again because I have breathed on you. And when I breathe, nothing stays dead. You have just stepped into revelation that few dare to carry. And I did not give it to you to keep it hidden. This word is not just for your ears, it is for the world's rescue. I am commanding my message to run swiftly, to reach the weary, the broken, the forgotten, and I have chosen you as a sender. When you give, whether through super thanks, membership, or what I have placed in your hand to release via PayPal, you are sowing into holy ground. You are lighting torches in dark places, fueling the oil that keeps my prophets burning. My word in Malachi 3 verse 10 lives. Bring the whole tithe and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven. Child, this is not about money. It is about movement. Give now and watch me multiply it. Not just back to you, but into the lives I will touch through your obedience. Open what I have commanded and sow into the fire I have started. You have asked me so many times, why the warfare? Why the resistance? Why the opposition when all I wanted was to follow you? And now, child, I answer not in riddles, but in revelation. The battles weren't punishment, they were protection. They weren't cruelty, they were confirmation. You have endured what most would have run from. You fought battles no one clapped for. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You stood silently in the middle of spiritual wars and thought no one saw. But I saw, and not one moment was wasted. Every arrow, every lie, every delay that wrapped itself around your calling was only permitted because of the power you carry. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being attacked because you are weighty. Your life is pregnant with purpose, heavy with heaven's assignment, and the enemy never strikes what isn't strategic. The devil's warfare is always targeted, and the size of your resistance is directly tied to the size of your revelation. If it has been relentless, it is because you are relevant. If it has been crushing, it is because your calling threatens hell's grip. You have thought you were under judgment when in fact you were under jealousy. The enemy has seen what is in you even before you did. He watched me stitch fire into your spirit. He watched me place a blueprint in your breath, and he panicked. Not because of where you were, but because of where you were headed. That is why the delay came. That is why the confusion clouded your steps. That is why the doors closed. Because what this moment unlocks, child, terrifies darkness. But hear me clearly now. You are no longer under assault. You are under assignment. A war is not a mark of abandonment. It is a mark of activation. I allowed the pressure not to punish you, but to prepare you. I permitted the battle not to wound you, but to weaponize you. And now every scar on your soul is glowing with the glory of what didn't kill you. The enemy wanted you to wear your wounds like shackles, but I say wear them like swords. You have gained ground in unseen places. You shattered cycles. You have broken generational chains while no one watched. But I watched. And now I bless. And now I reveal. And now I command you to use what was meant to break you as the very foundation you build upon. This message is not just words. It's a war cry, a declaration that you survived what was designed to bury you. And now you rise to build with the rubble. I am handing you divine blueprints that make sense of every battlefield. This is why the attacks came. This is why you were misunderstood. This is why the season felt like silence and sabotage all at once. Because the promise attached to your life is not small, it is seismic. And it is moving now. Heaven is moving now. And what you carry is not just precious. It is dangerous to the darkness. That is why it had to be fought for. And now it will be fulfilled. Child, I need you to hear this with heaven's clarity. Stop shrinking. Stop apologizing. Stop editing the size of your calling to fit the comfort of the crowd. What I have placed in you is not average. It is not mild. It is not modest. It is monumental. The anointing you carry carries weight. Weight that shifts rooms, unlocks atmospheres, silences confusion, and summons clarity. This mantle didn't fall on you by accident. It was fashioned for you. It fits no one else. And it is time you stop wearing it like an optional accessory and begin walking in it like the holy armor it is. There is nothing ordinary about you, and to pretend otherwise is to dishonor what I have spoken over you since before you breathed your first breath. You have tried to fit in, but I created you to stand out. You have tried to blend, but I anointed you to build. I did not give you fire, so you could hide it. I gave you fire so you could ignite others. There is power in your presence because my presence rests upon you. And the mantle you wear isn't stitched with human thread. It's woven with eternal purpose. It carries the scent of my presence, and that scent alone terrifies darkness. You have been afraid to speak, afraid to step, afraid to stand tall, because the weight of what you carry felt too much. But hear me, I gave you strength that matches the size of your assignment. You don't carry this mantle alone. I wear it with you. I rest upon you, and I will not allow you to keep minimizing what I majored in when I formed you. You keep waiting for others to validate what I already sealed. But they didn't give you the mantle, so they can't measure it. Stop looking for confirmation from voices I never authorized to speak over your calling. What you carry isn't always visible to the naked eye, but it is unmistakable in the spirit realm. When you walk into a room, atmospheres shift, not because of charisma, but because of covenant. You carry strategy from heaven itself. Yes, strategy, not suggestion. You have asked for steps, and I have given you a scroll written in the ink of my instruction, hidden in the folds of your obedience. The mantle is your permission. It is your authority. It is your divine signature on earth, proving you are not here by chance, but by charge. So wear it boldly. Wear it daily. Wear it like the weapon it is. Don't toss it aside when others question it. Don't fold it up because others fear its fire. Let it fall heavy across your shoulders. Let it remind you every time you doubt that you are carrying something too precious to hide, too powerful to delay, and too divine to dilute. The mantle is mine, but it was made for you, and when you wear it, hell remembers who you are, and heaven rejoices that you have awakened to who you have always been. Listen closely, child. I didn't form you with fragile intent. I didn't knit you together just to survive trials, crawl through conflict, and gasp your way to the finish line. I made you to shape the atmosphere around you. You are not here merely to endure. You are here to establish, to build, to shift. You are a force in the unseen realm, whether you believed it or not. You were not designed to sit quietly on the sidelines of divine history. You are not a footnote in the story of this world. You are a sentence written in fire, chosen to be spoken aloud in the darkest hour. Every breath you take is a declaration of spiritual rebellion against the chaos that tried to crush you. Every step you take is a reminder to the enemy that heaven placed you here on purpose. You thought of yourself as small because the world taught you to think so. You have dimmed your voice because rejection echoed louder than reassurance. But I say to you now, enough. Your voice carries volume in the spirit. I don't just hear it, I honor it, I respond to it. When you speak my name, mountains shift. When you whisper yes in the dark, angels mobilize. You have seen yourself as one among millions, but I see you as one in a generation, a divine disruptor, a voice raised to rupture routines and rip down strongholds. You are not noise, you are navigation. And I placed you here not to echo the culture, but to confront it with love, with truth, with the unmistakable authority of someone who has been with me. So rise up, not as a survivor, but as a shaper, a speaker of new seasons, a breaker of old curses, a writer of legacy that will echo long after your feet leave the earth. You are not just trying to make it through, you are carrying my message. And every time you obey, that message goes forth like a sword. Your obedience writes history in the invisible. Your prayers carve paths others will walk upon. Your voice opens vaults of purpose that were sealed in silence. That is why the enemy fought so hard to keep you quiet. That is why hell tried to mute you with discouragement, disqualify you with shame, and bury you beneath false humility. But you are not buried. You are being built. You have a divine shape that cannot fit into worldly molds. You were made to mold the world around you. No more watching from the shadows. The hour is urgent, and I have placed volume in your voice for a reason. Use it. Speak. Declare. Decree. And when you do, know this. You are not just speaking into the air, you are speaking into alignment. The winds hear you. The earth responds to you. Heaven backs you. All because you are mine. And I always speak through those I have marked. Child, hear me. I am not just speaking into space, I am speaking into you. Not vaguely, not symbolically, directly, deeply, decisively. When I command, I don't aim for the surface. I go beneath the skin, beyond the emotion, past the defenses, and I speak directly to your bones. The dry ones, the tired ones, the ones buried beneath disappointment and delay. My voice doesn't settle like dust. It is a summons. I am not offering you poetic comfort. I am giving you prophetic combustion. My word isn't a suggestion. It is a summons. It doesn't tickle the ears. It electrifies the spirit. And today I declare with fire and finality, the parts of you that you thought were done, dormant, dead, they are being awakened by my command. You stood in valleys where it felt like nothing lived. You have looked around and seen only dry ground, only scattered pieces of what used to be passion, vision, strength. But I tell you this, I specialize in speaking to dry places. I don't avoid them, I invade them. I don't mourn what died, I resurrect it. My word doesn't get weaker in desolation, it gets louder. When I spoke to Lazarus, I didn't whisper, I shouted. When I called Ezekiel to the valley, I didn't ask him to comfort bones, I commanded him to prophesy to them. And now, just as I did for him, I am doing for you. I am not whispering at your wounds, I am commanding your bones to live again. The parts of you that stopped believing, the places where hope turned to hollow, the fire that faded to a flicker. I am reigniting all of it with my voice. And let me tell you, child, you didn't lose your calling. You just lost your awareness of it. But today, that awareness returns. Not because you tried harder, but because I spoke louder. My word is walking through the halls of your memory and unlocking every door shame tried to seal shut. Every dream you buried for later. Every gift you shelved out of fear. Every idea that once burned but was doused by discouragement. It is all coming back to life, not by your effort, but by my breath. This is your Lazarus moment, your come forth moment. And no grave of regret or graveyard of broken expectations can silence what I am commanding now. What I spoke over you is louder than what they spoke against you. What I breathed into you before birth is still alive, still burning, still waiting, and I am commanding it to awaken. Not next year, not next week, now. So lift your head, stand to your feet, shake off the spiritual dust and soul-numbing fog. My words are not decoration, they are declaration. And when I speak, bones move. Fire returns. Purpose pulses again. You thought it was gone, but it was simply waiting for this moment. My word doesn't just inform, it incarnates. It enters your inner world and becomes the very force that revives what you thought was lost. Let it move through you now. Let it echo in your chest. Because I am not merely giving you revelation, I am reawakening your reason for being. You said, God, do something new. You pleaded for fresh winds, fresh fire, fresh doors. And child, I have heard every whisper of that hunger, but now I need you to hear me. I am doing something new, but it is not coming from the outside, it is coming from within you. You keep looking for new surroundings, but I am unveiling a new you. This isn't a detour, it's design. This isn't a reset, it's a reveal. I am not starting over. I am finishing what I began in secret. What is being awakened in you now was always in you. Dormant, yes. Hidden, yes. But dead, never. You weren't waiting on me to show up. I was waiting on you to wake up. This is not about reinvention. It is about resurrection. The you that the world hasn't seen yet. The you that religion tried to tame. The you that fear tried to cage. The real you. The one I handcrafted in the silence of eternity. The one I anointed not for applause, but for impact. You prayed for new. But I am not giving you something shiny and unfamiliar. I am giving you something ancient and eternal, your true identity. The warrior, the prophet, the reformer, the pioneer, the breaker of chains. The one who walks into a room and shifts the atmosphere not because of personality, but because of presence. You have been asking me to do something different. But I say to you now, I am doing something divine, something deliberate, something disruptive. And it is all centered around you stepping into who I saw when I first dreamed you into being. So do not despise how this feels. It may look messy. It may feel like unraveling. But in my realm, the unraveling is often unveiling. I am not tearing you apart. I am stripping off what never belonged. I am peeling back the layers of other people's expectations, religious limitations, and self-imposed ceilings so I can finally show you who you really are. This isn't new for me. This is just new for you. You are not stepping into novelty. You are stepping into authenticity. This is not another chapter. It is the fulfillment of the prologue. The fire you feel now is not foreign. It is familiar because it was forged in my presence before your birth. It is your true flame rising to the surface, unfiltered and unashamed. And now I command you, not suggest, not hint, command you to walk in it. This is not the time to say maybe later. This is not the season for caution. This is your awakening, your alignment, your divine appointment. And I don't awaken you just to make you feel alive. I awaken you so you can make others come alive. You are my evidence, my echo, my message in human form. And I will not let the world go another day without hearing the sound of your obedience. This is not newness for entertainment. This is newness for impact, and it begins now. Not with a song, not with a spotlight, but with a simple, dangerous, sacred yes. Child, pause and receive what I say with holy sobriety. You were not created to wait your life away. You've been looking at your watch, watching for signs, whispering prayers like, Lord, is it time yet? But while you have been waiting for a moment to arrive, I have been waiting for you to arise. You think you are late, but what is late is your realization of how on time I have made you. I didn't anoint you to be a spectator. I didn't equip you to admire what I am doing in others. I put movement in your mouth, fire in your footsteps, and divine disruption in your DNA. You are not here to witness revival. You are here to become it. You are the move. You are the turning point. You are the miracle someone else has been praying for. And yet the enemy has wrapped a lay around your mind like a fog. He has made you believe your waiting is because you are unworthy, unready, unfinished. But no, child, I was never waiting for things to change around you. I was waiting for something to shift inside you. your surrender, your yes without conditions, your obedience without explanation. The moment you step, the moment you speak, the moment you move with heaven's rhythm, that is when the divine chain reaction begins. You are the tipping point. You are the ignition switch. You are the line in the sand between what was and what will be. I didn't bring you this far just to keep you on pause. I brought you to this edge so you could be the spark. You have cried, God, do something. And now I say to you, you do something and I will breathe on it. Understand this. I didn't hide you in waiting. I sharpened you in it. Like an arrow pulled back, you felt tension. But tension is what gives velocity. You thought I had forgotten your prayers, but I was fortifying your spirit. You thought you were losing time, but you were gaining targeting. And now I am releasing you with accuracy, speed, and force. Not aimless, not random, not optional. You are being launched as a living word, a moving flame, a spiritual catalyst in a world addicted to comfort. This is not an accident. This is not a delay. This is divine deployment. The things you have endured were never just for survival. They were the very ingredients I used to make you unshakable in this hour. You are not fragile. You are forged. You are not stuck. You are summoned. And the moment you move, mountains will too. So do not wait for another sign. This message is the sign. I am not calling you to stand back. I am commanding you to step forward, not cautiously but courageously, not fearfully but filled with fire. You carry more than you realize. You hold within you the first wave of something I have long waited to release on the earth. What you say matters. What you choose matters. When you move, things shift. I am not just giving you moments. I am birthing movements. And you, child, are the movement I have chosen to start. Now let your heart tremble under this truth. Your yes is not small. It echoes through eternity. You may think your obedience is private, but it triggers public breakthroughs. There are people who have not met you yet, whose lives will be forever changed because you dared to obey. Souls who are suffocating in silence, waiting for someone to break the pattern, disrupt the cycle, crack the atmosphere, and that someone, child, is you. I have tied destinies to your decision, not to pressure you, but to honor you. You are the one I chose to carry the word, the weight, the weapon of breakthrough. And every time you delay your surrender, a chain remains unbroken that only your voice, your step, your action can release. This calling on you, it's personal, yes, but it's never been private. I wrote your life like a ripple meant to multiply. Your surrender will unlock someone else's strength. Your breakthrough will birth someone else's belief. And what I am asking of you now is not simply about your comfort or clarity. It is about kingdom-level collision. I have orchestrated alignments, I prepared people, I made the way. But the dam won't break until you move, until you say yes, until you release what I have planted in your mouth. The woman whose chains will fall when you speak. The family that will turn to me when they see your transformation. The city that will shake when your obedience finally touches the ground. They are waiting on you. They don't know it yet, but heaven does. Don't let the enemy lull you into thinking your delay is harmless. Every minute you doubt, the enemy buys time. But every moment you obey, hell loses ground. You have asked for generational change. This is how it begins. You have prayed for revival. This is what it looks like. One radical surrender that says, I don't care if it costs me comfort, control, or convenience, I will obey. That obedience becomes the doorway, the chain breaker, the fire starter. You have been asking me to move, but child, I am waiting for your move to move others. There is deliverance coded into your decisions, legacy encoded into your leap of faith. And when you say yes, the invisible becomes visible and the impossible becomes inevitable. This is the weight of glory. Not just what you carry, but what others will receive because you carried it well. You were never meant to live for yourself. You were marked to multiply. And the ones who are assigned to your yes, they don't need perfection. They need presence. They need to feel the fire of someone who obeyed me when it wasn't easy. Someone who trusted me when it didn't make sense. Someone who said yes when fear said no. So child, give me your yes, not because it feels safe, but because it's sacred. Give me your obedience, not because the path is clear, but because you trust the one who calls. And when you do, everything changes. Not just for you, but for everyone who was tied to your surrender. Beloved, listen to me now, because this is not merely instruction, it is intervention. You have outgrown the space you have been surviving in. I have watched you twist yourself into smaller shapes, just to fit where I never called you to stay. You have been walking in circles inside cages that no longer hold the power to contain you. But the fear of stepping beyond what's familiar has gripped you like chains. I see you. I see how you have dulled your own flame just to not scare those around you. How you silenced your roar just to keep peace with systems that never celebrated your spirit. But now, right now, I declare enough. You are not in a season of stretching. You are in a season of stepping out. No more tiptoeing through territory that should have been conquered. No more pretending comfort is the same as calling. I am not adjusting your space to fit your fears. I am commanding you to step beyond them. You were never meant to settle in the shadow of old limitations. That season is not your ceiling. It was your cocoon. And now the walls you keep crashing into, they are not punishment. They are proof you were meant for more. The pressure you feel, it's not failure. It's friction. A divine agitation signaling that where you are is too small for what I have placed inside you. You don't fit anymore. Not because you are wrong, but because you have grown spiritually, emotionally, prophetically. You have expanded, and you cannot shrink back into dimensions I have already delivered you from. I didn't bring you out of bondage to watch you live in spiritual basements. I brought you into freedom so you could walk in full stature, tall in the spirit, wide in influence, fierce in your faith. This is not a gentle invitation, it's a holy command. I am not whispering it, I am declaring it over you like thunder. Step out. Step out of the fear. Step out of the routine. Step out of the mental prisons dressed up as wisdom. I have already dismantled the locks. You are holding on to invisible chains. The doors are open, but you have been waiting for someone else to push you through. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. But I will not push you. I will summon you, because the move you make now cannot be man-driven. It must be God-commanded. When you step in obedience, I'll stretch the space around you. When you risk what's familiar, I'll resource what's eternal. This next level of your life isn't waiting on favor, it's waiting on faith. And faith isn't staying still until you feel safe. It's stepping forward until the ground forms beneath your feet. So break free now. Let the fear fall off you like old skin. Let the shame that said you're not ready dissolve in the heat of my presence. You are not just walking into a new space. You are becoming the space, an atmosphere carrier, a territory taker, A presence that makes rooms expand simply because you walk in carrying me. Don't ask me to expand you while you refuse to leave the shell. You must step, child. And when you do, you'll find that the smallness wasn't safety. It was suffocation. But I have come to breathe into your lungs again and remind you, you were born to stretch realms, shake foundations, and stand where others shrink. So step, beloved. Boldly, I am already waiting in the space that fear tried to keep from you. My precious one, you have wondered, even wept in the silence. You said, Lord, where are you? You felt the ache of unanswered prayers, the chill of delayed confirmation. The silence has felt heavy, cruel, even like a void where my voice used to be. But today, I shatter the lie that silence means abandonment. Hear me clearly. My silence has never been absence. It has been strategy. I have been near in ways your senses could not track. I have hovered over your midnight hours, closer than your breath, quieter than your thoughts, louder than your logic, but in the language of silence. You interpreted quiet as rejection, but I call it protection, because what I was preparing was too holy to be interrupted by noise. There are seasons when my words flow like rivers, but then come the seasons when I go silent, not to punish you, but to position you. Silence isn't my withdrawal, it's my workshop. I speak loudly when I need to instruct, but I go silent when I need to construct. And in this last season, child, I have been building foundations under your faith, fortifying the framework of your identity, guarding the blueprints I was etching into your destiny. Not because you were failing, but because you were forming. Because what I have been shaping in you requires quiet soil, undisturbed by applause or anxiety. I was rooting you, not ignoring you. You see, revelation comes with risk. If I had spoken too soon, you would have run ahead without the strength to carry what was coming. If I had revealed too much, you would have built on premature confidence instead of proven character. So I kept still, let the silence stretch you. I let it deepen you. And now the silence is breaking, not because I have changed, but because you have. You have grown, you have matured, you have learned to seek me for me, not just for what I say. And now that your heart has been calibrated to my cadence, I can finally release what I had to hide from you to protect you. Child, the quiet was not a punishment. It was a holy covering. And now that the time is right, I speak again. So do not resent the silence. Reverence it. It means I trusted you enough to stay. I trusted you enough to still believe when I didn't speak. And now I am rewarding that trust with revelation. I am about to show you what I have been doing behind the veil. Doors will open without noise. Promises will manifest without announcement. You will walk into rooms you didn't knock on because I opened them in the silence. You'll receive answers you stopped asking for because I was answering in a higher realm. And when it comes, you'll understand. My silence was never my distance. It was my design. I hid you in the hush so I could crown you in the clarity. And now the time has come. The silence lifts, the voice returns. And with it, your next assignment. Listen closely now. I am speaking again. Child, let me speak to the part of you you have been hiding, the broken part, the place that doesn't feel anointed, the place that trembles in secret and bleeds in silence. You have noticed the cracks in your foundation, haven't you? The thoughts you can't seem to control, the trust that feels fragile, the faith that wavers like a candle in the wind. You have looked at yourself and whispered, God, I'm not strong enough. But listen to me, and listen very closely. I never asked you to be strong enough. I asked you to be surrendered. The cracks you see are not signs of failure. They are invitations. And I have allowed them not to destroy your structure, but to reveal your need for me. You have believed that wholeness looks like perfection, but in my kingdom, wholeness looks like honesty. I cannot fill what you refuse to reveal. I cannot heal what you pretend doesn't hurt. But when you let me see it, when you stop covering the cracks with religious performance or human pride, that's when my glory rushes in like floodlight through shattered glass. You see brokenness, I see access points. You see weakness, I see an opening for wonder. You feared that collapse was imminent. But I say, I will not let you fall. I will fill you until falling is no longer possible. You are not collapsing, you are being cleared out for glory. The shell of your own strength is giving way to the inner structure of my spirit. This is not punishment, it is preparation. I have allowed the shaking not to shame you, but to show you that my power is made perfect. Not in your performance, but in your places of pressure. You have looked at others and assumed they were stronger because they looked steady. But I do not build on appearance. I build on authenticity. And your cracks are proof that you have lived, you fought, you stayed standing even when it hurt. I do not condemn that. I celebrate it, because in those cracks I am pouring new wine. In those wounds I am planting new wisdom. The world teaches you to hide the flaws. I call you to offer them, because what you surrender becomes sacred. So, child, do not despise your fragility. Do not fear the lines that form from pressure. Those cracks are not your collapse. They are your calling card. They are proof you have been through fire and lived to testify. And in them, I am writing a message the world needs to read. Grace lives here. Glory entered through here. God rebuilds here. Don't patch over what I am trying to inhabit. Don't numb what I am trying to speak through. Your brokenness is not a liability. It's my favorite canvas. Because when you lift your hands in worship through the very places that once bled, the sound is louder than the strongest shout. It is holy thunder that shakes hell. Now that my voice has become the compass for your chaos and the fire in your chest, I ask you, will you carry it forward? I am not just moving in you, I am moving through you. When you support this word through super thanks, membership, or your offering through PayPal, you turn your alignment into a lifeline for someone else. You sow seeds into rivers of living water stretching beyond what your eyes can see. Isaiah 55:11 isn't history, it's your harvest. My word will not return void but accomplish what I please. As you give, I'll protect your house, favor your hands, and pour oil over your purpose. This isn't donation, it's dominion. Don't delay. Sow into what your spirit knows is divine. Hear me now, and let this settle into the deepest part of your being. I am not nervous. I am not surprised. I am not reacting. I am reigning. You have imagined me wringing my hands in worry as you make decisions. You have imagined that your delay has somehow disrupted my divine blueprint. But I tell you, child, my plans do not panic. I am not pacing heaven's halls hoping you figure it out. I am the God who knows the end from the beginning. And I have already gone ahead of you. I have already sent the provision before you even felt the need. I have already issued orders to angels while you were still in your wilderness. What you are about to step into is not an accident. It is the activation of an ancient promise. You have been walking blind, unsure, uncertain, but you are not walking alone, and you are certainly not walking without direction. The path may look unfamiliar, but I have paved it with precision. You keep asking me, what do I do? And I respond, Step forward. I have already done it. Before you breathe in tomorrow, I have already spoken into it. Before your tears hit the ground, I have already sent comfort. Before the problem presented itself, I already carved out the solution. This is the mystery you must grasp. You are not stepping into chance. You are stepping into my choosing. Every place your foot touches, I have already marked with heaven's fingerprint. You don't need to manufacture momentum. I have already mantled you with movement. You fear that your mistakes will sabotage my plan, but my sovereignty swallows sabotage. You think your delay disqualifies you, but I remind you, delay is not denial, it's divine redirection. Nothing you have done has shocked me. Nothing you are afraid of can stop me. You are not running out of time, you are walking into timeless intention. When I said you were called, I accounted for every detour, every failure, every doubt. I planned around them, not so you could be punished, but so you could be prepared. You are not late, you are right on time for what I authored before time began. So breathe, rest, trust. Not in your strategy, but in my sovereignty. I have not just been watching your steps, I have been guiding them with invisible precision. I have whispered directions you didn't even realize you heard. I have aligned resources you didn't even know you needed. I have prepared rooms where your name has already been spoken with favor. And I am telling you now, what you are stepping into next is not a surprise. It is not sudden. It is sacred inevitability. This is the moment when the eternal plan touches your present place. And when it does, child, everything will align, not because you forced it, but because I foretold it. Beloved, stop postponing your obedience. Do not wait one more night for a dream, one more voice for agreement, or one more sign to make you move. This is the moment. The confirmation you sought is here. Coded in your tears, pulsing in your spirit, burning behind your chest. That drive you feel, that's heaven pulling you forward. The fire in your chest, that's divine fuel, not your imagination. The urgency that won't let you scroll past this message, it's me pressing past your defenses, resonating in your soul, insisting that you cannot delay. You think you lack proof. You think you need more validation. But this inner cry is louder than any external confirmation. When I move, I don't wait on your certificate. I move on your yes. So don't stall, don't second guess. This is not emotional impulse. It is my voice being too loud to ignore. You have trained your heart to wait for consensus. You have asked for signs when my spirit already signed your destiny. You have looked for external assurance while ignoring internal authority. But now I say, don't outsource my voice. What I have placed inside you is the supreme confirmation. What I have whispered in your spirit is the anchoring word. If you continue to wait for something outside yourself, you will die between I think and I will. The tension you feel, these are birth pangs. The hesitation, this is the war on your womb of purpose. And I am not leaving you there. I am demanding a breakthrough. When you lean in, when you choose me, when you move, even in fear, I confirm you by action. My spirit rises to meet every step taken in faith, even before your flesh feels ready. The proof arrives in your obedience, not before it. This is not recklessness, it is revelation. The call is not casual, it is cosmic. You have wrestled with doubt so long that you mistake divine insistence for confusion. But I didn't craft your hesitation, I fashioned your breakthrough. The sooner you stop seeking permission and start yielding to my push, the sooner you see doors open, voices align, and your path thunder. And I promise you will recognize my confirmation, not when everything is perfect, but when the fear is overshadowed by my presence, because nothing you do in faith slips through heaven's grip. This moment is now. I am not waiting for your readiness. I am demanding your response. And I assure you, the answer you hoped for is already walking toward you, drawn by the fire of your yes. My precious one, you interpreted my quiet as absence. You looked at the horizon and asked where I was, but I was never absent. I was staging, carefully, quietly. I moved behind the scenes, placing your provision, lining your allies, drawing enemy lines, and ordering divine encounters, all in secret until the time was ripe. When they knocked, there was no answer, because I was arranging the answer. When you felt delayed, I was laying foundations under your feet so that when you walked, the ground would already be firm. The table I have set is not common fare. It is a portion so precise, so personal, so perfectly calibrated to your season, that if I delivered it too early, your heart would not yet hold it. So I waited, not out of hesitation, but out of divine timing. You have looked at your delays as mistakes. You have seen the gaps, the pauses, the dark valleys, the long nights, and whispered, "God, did I miss it?" No, you did not miss your season. You were protected for it. You were preserved for it. I knew exactly how to stage your breakthrough so that when it arrives, the delivery will silence every doubt you ever held. This is not delayed deliverance. It is divinely staged deliverance. The enemies you feared won't have face-to-face with your breakthrough, because I have already dismantled their plots in the realm you cannot see. When you stand at your table of fulfillment, you will see my fingerprints all over what looked like delays. The stalls were not sabotage, they were setups. The silence was not abandonment, it was anticipation. So now, child, do not shrink back. Come to the table, feast, receive the portion that Scripture declared, but temporality delayed. It's ready, and it is enough, not just for the days ahead, but for the battles that think they will overtake you. This is not compensation, it is confirmation. It is not consolation, it is coronation. When you taste this provision, remember, I did not bring you here to beg. I brought you here to banquet. I am not feeding you elementary scraps. I am releasing a feast your spirit can sustain. And behind every dish is a story of my faithfulness, my foresight, and my fierce love. You may have doubted me in the silence, but tonight, at the table, you will see why I held back the words, the timing, the reveal. It was all for you. Beloved, hear me. The revelation I bring you now will not bow to human limitation. It cannot be stripped down to what feels safe. It will not shrink to match your smallness. The word I am releasing is not an appetizer. It is a feast made in eternity. Do not allow doubt, fear, or theology to dilute it, to soften it, to water it down so it becomes palatable to reluctant hearts. This word is not meant for those unwilling. It is for the courageous. It was birthed in the chamber of my spirit, in a place where reason could not tread. It is beyond human comprehension, beyond logic, beyond the sound of common counsel. And yet, it was molded for you. So let it land deep. Let it burn in parts of you where you said, I cannot. Let it dislodge every lie that tried to bind your faith. Let it become the standard by which your choices are measured. And do not water it down to soothe others when they can't carry it. Let them rise or let them fall away. This is the threshold of your elevation. You have been taught to rationalize faith, to defense prophecy into boxes your mind can tolerate. But my kingdom is not built in boxes. It is built in expansiveness, in surging seas, in thunderous whispers that defy explanation. What I show you now does not need to be understood to be true. Revelation doesn't wait for your intellect to catch up. It arrests your spirit. It uproots hesitation. It demands a reckoning. When my voice speaks, even the deaf parts of your soul stir. Even places that have lived in darkness blink. And so do not attempt to reinterpret, rephrase, or reduce this. Receive it in its weight, in its wonder, in its fire. Allow it to overturn what has stayed acceptable for too long. Let it dismantle your compromise. Let it push you beyond the safety nets you have trusted too long. Because what I reveal now doesn't come from human methods. It comes from the mountaintop, through fire, with a voice that says rise. And yes, beloved, there will be others who mock it, who question it, who cannot carry it. But this word is not for their comfort, it is for your construction. This is you being built by my word. Let it stand firm against watered-down theology, against timid voices that call for sensible. Let it be the crucible that purifies your resolve. Let it unfold in you, surgically, exactly as I plan. Over time, you will see those moments you refuse to shrink it, those places you refuse to soften it. They become the strongest pillars in your walk, the corners from which your destiny launches. So I tell you now, receive it unedited, declare it unafraid, carry it undiluted, because what I birth through you will not be small, it will be seismic. And the world, your world, needs what you were made to carry in exactly the weight it was given. Don't make it lighter. Let it burn you toward your purpose. Beloved, your internal landscape has been turbulent. Chaos has drifted like smoke through valleys of your heart. Confusion has dimmed your path so that each step feels combative. Emotions have clashed, thoughts have wrestled. But hear me clearly now. I command peace over that chaos, even if your mind screams otherwise. I command clarity over all that confusion, even when it feels thick like fog. But before my never-failing peace can settle, and my clear light can blaze, you must surrender to one thing: stillness. Be still, not in passive rest, not in passive resignation. True spiritual stillness. Let your spirit quiet. Let your soul unclench. Let your fears fall silent. Because what I am about to speak will shatter structures, reorder atmospheres, shift seasons. It must land in a heart not yelling back. So I say, inhale my presence. Exhale your anxieties. Let the pulse of heaven flow inside your chest. Let your lungs be the temple of my voice. Do not demand explanation now. Do not try to rationalize the noise away. Just obey me in this stillness. For the still moments are the soil in which my word roots. The still thresholds are where my voice steps from thunder into your inner room. When all else is screaming, stillness becomes the altar. It invites heaven to descend. It demands attention. It hushes what is not holy so that what is divine can speak. In that sacred stillness, I will speak what will shift everything for you. A word so loaded, it will rearrange timelines. A word so poignant, it will heal your history. A word so precise, it will dismantle what's been built of imbalance. You will not need to hustle for it or predict it. It will not come in the cadence of mania. It will come in the clarity of my voice, soft yet seismic. And when it lands, it will align everything: your purpose, your passion, your presence. The confusion will scatter, the chaos will retreat, and peace will settle as anointing on your bones. Because I do more than calm storms, I convert them. I turn wreckage into worship, confusion into commission, chaos into the construction site of legacy. So rest in this moment. Let the fighting cease. Let your breath slow. Let me pull back the curtain and speak into the vacuum you created by stillness. The word is coming. The shift is imminent, The deliverance is near. And you, child of mine, will not only hear, but you will become the word, the shift, the deliverance for others who are waiting in their own chaos. Obey the stillness. Receive the peace. Watch as clarity rips through your confusion, and see how everything changes when heaven speaks into the place where you dared to be still. Beloved, come with me in spirit for a moment and feel the weight of the ground beneath your feet. This place where you stand is not ordinary. It is consecrated. It is sanctified. It is ground where heaven and earth converge. Do you feel that tremble in your bones, that ancient stirring in your spirit? It is the sound of a veil tearing. I am tearing screens, walls, shadows, coverings that have hidden my purpose from you, forged by fear, seasons of silence, and layers of self-protection. But now, the veil is ripping, and what has been hidden will be unveiled. The secrets I whispered over your heart, the assignments entrusted to your spirit, the depths of my glory I reserved for you, they are rising from the shadows into the open. That which felt heavy, burdensome, impossible, it is being lightened. The invisible is becoming visible. The secret seasons have not been forgotten. They were incubators. A seed under the surface is now surfaced. You have believed that some things would remain hidden forever. Your gift, your calling, your value. You thought the world would never recognize it. You thought your struggles were masks you must keep on so people won't see you broken. But I say to you now, no more concealment. The hidden portion is breaking free. The things that were whispered in the sanctuary of your soul are stepping into the marketplace of the Spirit. The walls you built to protect your wounds, those walls are falling. The weight you carried in silence, the grief, the fear, the shame, they are lifting. I am breathing into your broken places and commanding revelation to break forth. The veil is tearing because your time of exposure has come. Not for harm, but for healing. Not for shame, but for sanctification. What was hidden has my signature, and now it will shine. This unveiling is not for the sake of display. It is for the sake of destiny. What people never saw was the blueprint I placed in your heart. But now that blueprint will be drawn in the earth. What others did not believe will be established through your life. The weight you bore in dark nights, the isolation, the questions, the expectations unmet, they are not mistakes. They were part of the prescription for this unveiling. And now that they are lifting, you will walk differently. You will speak differently. You will see differently. Because unveiling always changes the way you move in space. And child, your movement will no longer be timid. It will be bold because you are standing on sacred ground. Every step forward will carry authority because the veil has torn. You are no longer behind the barrier. You are walking in the breakthrough. Anchor your heart in this moment. Recognize this ground. Call it holy. Do not casually walk away from what is revealing itself. The unveiling will test you. It will confront you with choices of exposure or retreat. But I say to you, hold fast. Let what was hidden be healed. Let what was heavy become your heritage. Let your vulnerability become your victory. And as the veil continues to tear, let your voice roar the revelation. Let your life declare the lifting. Type yes if you're ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. For I am doing something in you the world must see. And you are standing on the sacred ground where that must begin. Child, hear me. Your request was not whispered in vain. You said, "Show me, Lord." And so I am showing you. not in shadows, not in riddles, but in speech. In this moment, I am not giving you hazy parables, but clear decrees. My message to you is not vague. It is vivid. It is painted in such clarity that your spirit will not be able to deny it. When I speak, I do so with intention. When I reveal, I do so with precision. What I say is not arbitrary. It is anchored in my character, aligned with my promise, and tailored to your terrain. Today, you will taste the substance behind the symbols. You will feel my nearness, not just as hope, but as weight in your bones. This message is designed to leave no doubt. You will know I, your God, am near. You have walked many paths of uncertainty, wandering through valley after valley, wondering if I hear you, if I remember, if I care. You have waited for smoke signals, for secondary confirmations, for proof you felt safe to move. But I have been speaking to your spirit all along. I have been communicating in the inner sanctuary of your heart while your ears chased outside echoes. But now I step forward. I speak for you to see. I speak for you to receive. In this there will be no ambiguity. You will wake from this moment knowing it was heaven's voice. And in the aftermath, when the wind calms and the adrenaline fades, your soul will still resonate with my presence. That is how vivid my message is. This is not a word you read and forget. It is a declaration that walks with you. It embeds itself in your bone marrow. It becomes the marker for your next seasons. This is not rumor. I am speaking. This is not prophecy for others. I am releasing my voice to you. And because it is vivid, it will dismantle doubts. It will fracture the arguments of the enemy. It will sharpen your vision. You won't wonder what to do next. You will see. I will write in your understanding what I have long carried in my heart. There will be a sovereign intersection between your spirit and my sound. And beyond this moment, when you look back, when difficulty, delay, or noise returns, you will always return to this moment, this word, this encounter with God who does not delay. You will say, I heard him, I saw him, I know he is near. So step with confidence. Speak with authority. Live in the boldness that comes when you know the voice behind the word. The time for faint faith is over. The time for hovered hesitation is done. I am not offering you symbolism. I am offering you solid certainty. I am not promising generics. I am giving you a message that is intimately yours. And I, your God, will prove myself to be near through every turn, every trial, every triumph that follows. You will never walk unsure again because I have spoken. And when God speaks, things shift. Be still, believe, receive, and let the vividness of my voice become the foundation you live upon from this day forward. Beloved, stop straining your mind to make sense of every shadow, every move, every nuance. This is not a time for analysis. This is a time for surrender. Do not try to figure this out. Just receive it. You have been in battles, trying to understand the patterns, trace the signs, reverse engineer the outcomes. But I say to you now, cease from mental wrestling. Your spirit already knows more than you can presently explain. Your inward witness is more precise than your limited logic. So receive this. I am not explaining, I am declaring. I will not walk you through every detail before I move. You are being called to rest in my authority, not in your comprehension. I speak, and what I speak begins to perform. It shifts atmospheres. It molds reality. You don't need a blueprint you fully grasp. You need my word you fully believe. When my word drops, it shakes what's settled. It fractures strongholds. It births storms of change. What I declare becomes the stage upon which your life follows. And even if your mind stumbles to connect all the dots, your spirit will catch the movement. My declarations are not conditional on your understanding. They are sovereign. They do not return void. They complete. The promises I release will not fizzle out. The decrees I speak will not stall in limbo. They are active. They are alive. They are designed to perform even before you see every step. That is the power of divine speech. It is not bound by your timeline, your logic, or your strength. It carries its own force. It compels, convicts, corrects, and commands alignment. So don't demand explanations before you obey. Let my word work. Let it rearrange what needs to be rearranged. Let it birth what needs to be born. You have tried to negotiate your obedience with your understanding. Lord, once I see the reason, then I will move. But I say, obedience unlocks reason. When you respond to my word, clarity comes. Light floods what was dark. Purpose reveals itself. Doors you never saw begin to open. That is how the kingdom works. Not by waiting for perfect clarity, but by following my word with courageous faith and then watching my torrent of clarity flow in alignment with your steps. Revelation often lags obedience. First you obey, then you see. The posture of your heart matters more than the proof in your hands. You may feel uncertain. You may not see all the way through, but you can still trust the voice that has never misled you. So receive, obey. Let my declarations birth their designed destiny in your life. In the days to come, your friends may ask, how did it happen? They'll marvel at what shifted, but you will know this was not your doing. This was my doing. I declared. I moved. You became the vessel. You became the echo. You became the instrument through which my word completed itself. Hold this, beloved. My word doesn't wait on your strategy. It demands your surrender. And when you yield, watch how it performs beyond your expectation, beyond your effort, beyond your imagination. Rest in that. Believe in that. Live in that. Hear me now, child. This is not for those who skim with their eyes. This is for those who quiver with their souls when heaven speaks. I command this message to be heard, not merely read, to be felt, not just observed. I am not releasing words to pass through your eyes and vanish like vapor. I am sending sound waves into your spirit. I am sending tremors into your bones. I am sending fire into your inmost places. This is your moment of divine interception, the inflection point when heaven's frequency meets your fragile faith and the landscape of your life shifts. You didn't just stumble upon this message. I sent it, and now I command you. Open your spirit and receive what only I can speak. Your spirit has wrestled with the ordinary for too long. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Your mind has sharpened every nuance so sharply that your heart feared any incision. But now I am slicing through the familiar to insert revelation. You must open, not just a little, not superficially, but fully. Let me speak into parts of you that have been mute. Let me speak into places that have grown numb. Let me speak into dreams you believe died. Let me speak into your bones. When you open, you will hear more than words. You will feel echoes of purpose, tremors of destiny, resonance of my presence. That is more than knowledge. That is knowing. That is divine imprint. Don't let your mind interrupt. Don't let your fears constrict when my voice is in the room. Close out every distraction. Push back every enemy whisper. Drown out every doubt. Open your spirit. Receive. Let my voice land in the shrine of your being. When you do, the message will rewire your vision, reframe your path, rearm your faith. It will give you courage to move. It will give you clarity to speak. It will ignite what has lain hidden. The reason you feel pressure is because what you're meant to receive is too weighty to settle in the shallow. Open deep, open wide, open whole. Because when God speaks, walls crack, chains drop, darkness flees, and destiny roars into life. This is the invitation and the demand. Open now. You are not reading just words. You are entering a transaction of destiny. You are not receiving mere encouragement. You are receiving impartation. Let my voice echo in your spirit until you cannot deny it. Let it permeate your soul until your steps align with my sound. You didn't come across this by accident. I intersected you. I commanded the moment. And now I command your response. Receive and walk into what only I can speak. Beloved, in the midst of all I have spoken, the greatest invitation I bring to you now is to hear me, not merely to be heard by others, but to listen so intimately that my voice becomes as real to you as your very breath. You have become so practiced at tuning into every external noise, voices of critics, voices of the crowd, voices of fear. But this moment demands a quieter, a deeper, a more sacred listening. Don't strive for applause. Don't chase validation. Chase the voice behind the word. I have called you to a frequency that goes beyond your ears, reaching to the depths of your spirit. When my voice is clear to you, nothing spoken against you will stand. The world may demand your performance, but I demand your presence. And when you hear me, your alignment becomes your authority, stronger than any human accolade. You believe that your worth lies in being seen, affirmed, applauded. But I tell you, your worth lies in being known. I don't need the world to praise you. Instead, I need you to recognize my voice above the applause. There is power in alignment. There is power when your spirit resonates with heaven's tone. When my voice becomes your anchor, not your echo, you will walk in freedom. No whisper, no scorn, no rejection can shake. The more you hear me, the less you will need to look for me elsewhere. You become rooted in my voice, not in man's opinions. You become secure in my affirmation, not in the world's approval. And this freedom will shine through you, pulling others from cages, breaking off identities built on applause, restoring dignity to wounded souls who learn to find their value in external echoes. Yet when you hear me, you will not remain silent. The world needs your alignment more than your approval. What I birth in you will not be for spectacle. It will be for service, for transformation, for rescue. When your steps, your words, your purpose align to my voice, the world senses it. Darkness trembles. A broken heart opens. Hidden destinies rise. And the authority you carry is not in what you declare, but in who hears you declare. When the voice behind your voice is God's voice, even walls shift, even systems recalibrate, even seasons bend. And the world watching, the ones who hear, begin to wonder why they wander. They begin to return to the voice you follow. This is not your hearing alone. It is a signal to every lost one that God still speaks. And when He does, life changes. So lean forward now. Open the aisle between heaven and your spirit. Press past distractions. Shut out the static of lesser voices. Let my tone take resonance in your core. Let your soul echo my frequency. And from that place, you will not live for applause. You will live because your life is spoken to. You will step not for acceptance, but for purpose. And every word you carry from me will not be diluted. It will be dispatched. Because you are not only a receiver, you are a conduit. Let your hearing be your power, and let my voice become your true identity in this world. You have received my command. You've opened what heaven sent. Now I say, help me send it further. My message must not be muted. Every super thanks, every membership joined, every seed sown through PayPal, it becomes a trumpet blast in the spirit, calling my lost ones home. You are not giving to a screen. You are giving to a mission that breaks chains and builds sanctuaries. Proverbs 11:25 is alive in you. Those who refresh others will themselves be refreshed. Child, your generosity is not just seen. It's remembered, recorded, and returned. This is sacred ground. Don't scroll past it. Act now. Fuel what I've commanded, and I will release what you've prayed for. And now, child, I press this final truth into your spirit. Carry what you've heard onward. Don't let these words die with you. Let them live through your hands, your eyes, your lips. Let your life become a sanctuary, a place where people come and feel my presence because you have listened. Let your life become a signal, a beacon for those lost in noise to find direction. Let your life become a sound, the sound of God's voice echoing in an unsteady world. When you walk in what you've heard, you become more than a recipient. You become a resonator, and the world will not just watch you. The world will follow the echo. You've been hearing, receiving, opening your spirit. But hearing becomes more powerful when it becomes living, when your days speak what your spirit learned, when your steps reflect what your heart obeyed, when your words carry not sentiment but sound. People need sanctuary in chaos. They need signals in darkness. They need a voice they can trace back to God. And you, out of what you've heard, are called not to abstract faith but sacred activism, not to cloister your revelation, but to carry it outward. This is the assignment. You were intercepted to intercede, invited to initiate, called to carry forth. And every time you do, others will feel safe to open. Others will feel brave to speak. Others will sense that God's voice still works through mortal clay. So do not contain this. Do not confine it. Do not allow it to be a memoir. Let it be a movement. Let your life be a living sermon. Let your presence be a prophecy. Let your obedience be a map that others can follow. You were never meant to keep this in sacred secrecy, but to let heaven's sound break into earth's silence through you. Carry the word, live the word. Be the echo that draws others into the frequency of my voice. Your life becomes the meeting place between heaven and earth. And everyone who steps into your radius steps into my realm. Go to demonstrate what you heard, and watch as the world shifts around you, drawn into alignment by the resonance of what you carry. This is your charge. This is your calling. This is your release. Now, child, if this word to you like lightning, then I command you, don't stay silent. Let the very heavens hear your agreement. Declare in the comments right now, I'm opening what God commanded. No delay, no doubt, no turning back. Don't just scroll by. Stamp your faith into the atmosphere. My beloved child, listen closely, for what is happening right now is not just noise, and it is not a coincidence. It is prophecy. It is a partnership. It is a divine alignment with the God who sent this word to find you. As you hear these words, I want you to believe that something in the spirit realm is unlocking just for you. Now pause for a moment. Feel that shift in the air, that stillness after the storm of your declaration. Heaven has received your words, and now it listens in silence. I am here in that silence. I have heard your faith thunder, and now I want to meet you in the calm that follows. Do not mistake my quiet for absence. It is the sound of me drawing closer. The same God who commanded you to speak is now commanding you to listen, for revelation always follows obedience. My child, listen to me. It is your Creator who speaks. In this very moment, I am commanding the heavens to be silent and the earth to hold its breath. I am quieting the chaos that swirls around you, not with a distant roar, but with a whisper that is meant only for you. This is not a suggestion you can file away for later. This is a divine summons to your spirit, an urgent call to the deepest part of who you are. I see you right where you are, with your mind pulled in 1,000 directions. You are thinking about that deadline at work, the unspoken tension in your home, the bill that is due next week, and the nagging feeling that you are not enough. Put it all aside. Just for now, release your grip on those trivialities that occupy your every waking thought. Let go of the endless scroll on your phone that numbs your soul. Silence the news headlines that scream fear and division into your heart. I am breaking through the relentless noise of your world, the traffic, the arguments, the constant demands, to reach you in this sacred space. I am cutting through the static of your own inner critic, the voice that replays your failures and magnifies your fears. You have been running, striving, and worrying, and your spirit has grown weary from the noise. So I command you now, be still, breathe. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders as you give me this moment. Your attention is the most precious vessel I wish to fill. It is the fertile ground where my words can take root and grow into miracles. For too long, the enemy has fought to steal your focus, to keep you so distracted by the urgent that you forget the eternal. He wants you exhausted, anxious, and deaf to my voice. But his time is over. Today, my voice will be the only one you hear. I am not shouting over the clamor. I am dissolving it with my presence. This is an appointment we have both been waiting for. I have seen you longing for a moment of peace, a sign that I am near, a word that makes sense of your journey. This is that moment. Do not let it slip away. Honor this summons. Lean in and listen with the ears of your heart, for what I am about to speak will not just inform you, it will transform you. I need your undivided attention, not because I am a demanding God, but because I am a loving Father who cannot bear to see you lost in the noise any longer. Your focus is the doorway through which I will walk, bringing peace, clarity, and the profound, unshakable truth of my love directly into the reality of your life. So listen, my child. Just listen. What you are hearing now is not a collection of empty words or a fleeting moment of inspiration that will fade with the morning light. This message is alive. It is woven from the very threads of eternal love, carrying the full weight of my glory. And yet it is as light as my grace, designed not to crush you, but to lift you. You've been carrying burdens that were never yours to bear. The weight of others' expectations, the crushing load of your own self-criticism, and the heavy chains of past regrets. You have listened to the world's messages, the ones that promise happiness in a purchase, fulfillment in a position, or peace in an escape. But they have left you empty, have they not? They are like drinking salt water to quench a thirst. They only leave you wanting more. My message is different. It is living water for your parched soul. Within these words lies the key to your deliverance. Think of that door in your heart, the one you have locked and bolted, the one that hides your deepest wounds and secret shames. This message is the key, perfectly forged to fit that lock. It is not a battering ram of judgment. It is a key of grace that turns silently, opening that room not to expose you, but to heal you. This message is a balm, a healing ointment for the wounds you have so expertly hidden from the world. I see that smile you put on when your heart is breaking. I see you say, "I'm fine," when you are falling apart inside. You have wounds from words that were spoken over you in anger, wounds from betrayals that you never saw coming, and wounds from your own choices that you cannot seem to forgive. You have tried to cover them, to ignore them, to pretend they are not there, but they fester in the darkness. My truth, spoken to you now, is the balm that will not just soothe the surface, but will sink deep into those hurts, cleansing them of their poison and leaving behind not a scar of shame, but a mark of my healing power. This is my truth, unblemished and absolute, a solid rock in the shifting sands of human opinion and fleeting feelings. It is a living word, a seed of divine potential, meant to take root in the soil of your soul. Do not just hear it with your ears. Open your heart and let it be planted. Nurture it, water it with your faith. It will grow into a mighty tree within you, providing shade from the scorching heat of anxiety and bearing the fruit of peace, joy, and a strength you have never known. This message is not information, it is an impartation. It is my very life being breathed into yours. I speak to you in this intimate way for one simple, profound reason, because you are known to me by name. You are not a face in a crowd, a statistic, or an anonymous soul praying into an empty void. When you whisper a prayer in the dead of night, I do not have to ask, "Who is that?" I know your voice. I know the rhythm of your heart. I know the dreams you have never spoken aloud and the fears you believe you carry alone. I am not a distant God, an abstract force, or an unapproachable king on a faraway throne. That is the caricature the enemy and a cold religion have painted of me. The truth is, I am the Father who leaves the 99 to find the one. I am the Father who runs to meet you while you are still a long way off. I am the Father who draws near. My deepest desire is for a relationship with you, not a rigid, lifeless ritual. You have gone through the motions, haven't you? You have attended the services, sung the songs, and said the prayers, yet felt an aching emptiness, a longing for something more, something real. That is because you were created for connection, not just ceremony. I do not want your performance. I want your presence. My heart yearns to commune directly with yours. I desire a conversation, not just a monologue where you present your list of requests. I want to share my heart with you, to reveal my plans, to comfort your sorrows, and to celebrate your victories. I see the incredible potential I placed within you from the very beginning, before the world had a chance to tell you who you should be. I see the leader, the healer, the creator, the nurturer that I designed you to be, even when all you see are your flaws and failures. I see the masterpiece, even when you feel like a mess. I speak to you directly because I am calling that true identity forth. I am reminding you of who you were made to be. You were created for this intimacy, for this beautiful exchange. It is your birthright as my child. The enemy has tried to convince you that you are unworthy of this direct access, that you must go through others, or that your sins have created a chasm too wide to cross. But that is a lie. The sacrifice of my son Jesus was the bridge across that chasm. He tore the veil from top to bottom, giving you bold and confident access directly into my presence. So do not hesitate. Do not hold back. Speak to me as you would a trusted friend, for that is what I am. This direct line between us is always open. I am always listening. Listen to me now, and let this truth dismantle every lie you've ever believed about your worth. My love for you is not based on your performance. It is not a reward for your good days or a punishment for your bad ones. You have spent your entire life on a treadmill of striving, trying to earn approval, trying to be good enough, smart enough, successful enough. You have measured your value by your achievements, by your ability to please others, by how well you keep the rules. The world loves you conditionally. It applauds your success and scorns your failure. But my love is not like that. It is a settled, unchanging, and absolute reality that has nothing to do with what you do, and everything to do with who I am. My love for you existed before you took your first breath, before you ever accomplished a single thing or made a single mistake. I loved you. I chose you. I set my affection upon you. It is a relentless, pursuing, and unfailing love. It chases you down when you are running away. It finds you in your darkest moments. It stands with you in the wreckage of your worst decisions. There is absolutely nothing you can do that will separate you from this love. Do you hear me? Your failures cannot separate you. Your doubts cannot separate you. Your anger, your shame, your secret sins, none of it is powerful enough to build a wall that my love cannot break through. It is the very foundation of your existence and your hope. When everything else in your life feels shaky and uncertain, your job, your health, your relationships, my love is the one thing that is unmovable, the bedrock beneath your feet. So I command you today, stop trying to earn it. Stop living in fear of losing it. You cannot. It is a gift given freely and eternally. Accept it as the ultimate truth of who you are to me. Let it be the lens through which you see yourself. When you look in the mirror and the voice of condemnation whispers your faults, you will answer with the truth of my love. When the world tries to define you by your weakest moments, you will stand firm on the foundation of my unwavering affection. This love is not a feeling, it is a fact. It is not a temporary comfort, it is your eternal identity. Rest in it, breathe it in, let it heal you, free you, and transform you from the inside out. This is my promise, sealed and guaranteed. You are loved. Period. You are my child. I have paid for your sins with my own blood. Now I ask you, what more shall I do for you? Ask me anything you desire. Call out to me, and I will surely respond with wonders beyond your imagination. But tell me, will you believe in me? I do not want you to remain in the same place. Leave your land and your relatives for the promised dreamland, where blessings rain down and provision springs from the ground. My dear child, with all my affection, I tell you, you are special. If only you could feel what I feel, see yourself as I see you, and understand this supernatural world. If you saw yourself in the spiritual mirror, you would fall to your knees and thank me with your loyalty, your time, your smile, and your thoughts. You would rise with a profound love for life and embark on conquering the promised land I have for you. Break those bonds that restrain you, for you are fortified with the courage my voice instills in your soul. You would finally understand that you are already victorious in all things through my sacrifice and resurrection. My doors are always open. Just come and talk to me with a thankful and humble heart. I will show you love in a way only I can. Come and sit next to me. Look in my direction with your faith-filled eyes. You are incredibly blessed and have full access to my strength. All that I have is yours, just as I have promised and written down. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Ask and you shall receive. I will nourish you with sweetness and the best provisions. Don't lose heart or feel down, for you have an important role to play. My love for you is so vast and deep It is more than you can grasp right now, but trust in it, feel it, and walk by faith, knowing I never deceive and I am always with you. From the bottom of my heart, I tell you, I love you deeply and wish no more pain for you. I see the tough times you are enduring, feeling like you are running out of strength. You try to hide your pain, aiming to look strong, yet I understand you more than you understand yourself. You might fool the mirror, but I see your true self, your spirit, your heart. Even if you are courageous, come and share with me what is holding you back from discussing your worries. I will catch every tear and raise you up. Stop doubting. Give me your worries, and I will bear them for you. Being my child comes with many blessings and wonders that will touch you and your family profoundly. You will feel joy and contentment as my promises come to life in you. I will never leave your side. My angels will watch over you, keeping you safe. Each morning, reach out to me. Pray, and you will notice how blessed your day becomes, filled with my gentle love, keeping you at peace. Should an unexpected difficulty arise, simply converse with me, and I shall illuminate your path, enabling you to make the right decision. I shall impart upon you the necessary wisdom and offer signs to guide you, ensuring your certainty in the direction to take. Rest assured, I have always sought the best for you because you deserve it. As long as your heart remains loyal to me and brims with good intentions, ask, and it shall be given to you according to my will. I have just crowned you with your true identity. Would you now cast that crown aside to listen again to the world's empty lies? To turn away from me at this moment is to tell me my sacrifice was not enough to hold your attention. Do not break my heart by leaving this sacred space. Stay, for the very purpose I have woven into your being is what I must speak of next. Your life is not a random occurrence, a cosmic accident, or adrift in a sea of meaninglessness. It is a divine appointment. Before the foundations of the world were laid, I knew you, and I designed you with a specific and glorious purpose in mind. You look at your daily routine, the commute, the chores, the meetings, the endless cycle of tasks, and you wonder, is this all there is? Am I making any difference? The enemy loves for you to ask this question, to make you feel insignificant, to convince you that your life is a series of mundane events with no overarching narrative. But that is a lie designed to paralyze you. The truth is, I have etched a unique purpose upon your very soul. It is woven into your DNA, reflected in your passions, your talents, and even your deepest sorrows. It is a purpose that will bring glory to my name, not in a way that diminishes you, but in a way that makes you shine with a brilliance you never thought possible. It is a calling that will satisfy the deepest longings of your heart. You have been searching for fulfillment in so many other places, in the approval of others, in material possessions, and in fleeting experiences. You have been chasing a feeling of significance, but it has remained just out of reach. That is because you have been looking for purpose in the world, trying to build an identity from the temporary materials it offers. I am calling you now to stop searching out there and to start listening right here. Find your purpose in my will. It is not a destination you must strive to reach. It is a path you are invited to walk with me, one step at a time. It is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming the person I created you to be. It is found not in grand, world-changing gestures, but in the small, faithful acts of love and obedience you perform every single day. Your purpose unfolds when you show patience to a difficult coworker, when you speak a word of encouragement to a struggling friend, when you choose integrity over convenience, and when you love your family with a love that mirrors mine. Do not despise the small things, for in them your great purpose is revealed. And right now, in this very moment, as you listen to my voice, I am revealing the next step in this grand design. It may not be a booming announcement or a detailed 5-year plan. It may be as simple as a nudge to forgive someone, a call to start that project you have been putting off, or a gentle command to simply rest in my presence. Do not dismiss it. The next small step is everything. It is where your divine purpose meets your present reality. Take it. Walk with me, and I will show you wonders. I see you, my child. I see the shadows that dance in the corners of your mind when the house is quiet and the distractions of the day have faded. I see the doubts that linger there, whispering questions that you are too afraid to speak aloud. What if I fail again? What if I misunderstood your plan for my life? Am I truly forgiven for the things I've done, or am I just fooling myself? Why does it feel like my prayers are hitting the ceiling and falling back down unanswered? These are not just thoughts. You feel them in your body, don't you? That familiar knot in your stomach, the tightness in your chest, the racing heart that wakes you in the middle of the night. You see the success of others, and a voice whispers, "You will never measure up." You face a challenge, and it screams, "You don't have what it takes." This is the work of the enemy. His greatest strategy is not a frontal assault, but a subtle campaign of whispers. He seeks to paralyze you with the poison of fear and uncertainty. He is the author of confusion, the master of the what if. He loves to replay your highlight reel of failures, reminding you of every wrong turn, every broken promise, every moment of weakness, all to convince you that you are disqualified for my love and my plan. But I have come today to silence that voice. Listen to me. My voice is the one that speaks peace, not panic. My voice brings clarity, not confusion. It will never shame you into submission. It will always love you into wholeness. The enemy's voice is frantic, accusing, and demanding. My voice is calm, reassuring, and liberating. You must learn to distinguish between the two. The voice that drives you to strive and worry is not mine. The voice that leaves you feeling condemned and hopeless is not mine. My voice is the gentle whisper in the storm that says, "Peace, be still." It is the quiet strength that rises within you, enabling you to face what you thought you could not. When doubt screams its loudest, you must arm yourself. Hold on to my promises, for they are your shield against these attacks. They are not mere suggestions or hopeful wishes. They are unbreakable covenants. When you doubt your worth, you will hold up the promise that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. When you doubt your future, you will hold up the promise that I have plans to prosper you and not to harm you. When you doubt your strength, you will hold out the promise that you can do all things through me who gives you strength. This is how you fight. You believe your faith must be perfect, a mighty and unshakable fortress. You grow discouraged when you find a crack, a moment of wavering. But your faith does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be placed in me. The power is not in the size of your faith. The power is in the object of your faith. A mustard seed of faith, tiny and seemingly insignificant, when placed in me, can move mountains. It is not about how tightly you can hold on to me. It is about the unwavering truth that I am holding on to you. So let go of the pressure to have perfect faith. Simply bring me your imperfect, struggling, and sometimes tiny faith, and watch what I will do with it. I am greater than your biggest fear and your deepest doubt. The financial worry that keeps you awake, I am Jehovah Jireh, your provider. The fear of loneliness that grips your heart, I have promised never to leave you nor forsake you. The doubt that you can ever truly change, I am the God who makes all things new. Bring your doubts into my light. Speak them to me, and I will replace them one by one with the unshakable truth of who I am. Do not rely on your own strength. I see you trying, and I see how utterly exhausted you are. You wake up each morning, take a deep breath, and put on your armor of self-sufficiency. You tell yourself, I can handle this. I just need to try harder, be more disciplined, push through the pain. You carry the weight of your family, your work, and your own expectations on your shoulders. And you believe that strength means never showing a crack, never admitting you are overwhelmed. But that strength, my child, is a shallow well. It runs dry. It leads to burnout, anxiety, and that deep soul weariness that you feel right now. It will fail you. In fact, it is designed to fail you so that you might finally turn to the true source of a power that never depletes. My strength is not a reservoir that can be emptied. It is an ever-flowing river. It is not a battery that loses its charge. It is the sun itself, an infinite source of power and light. The world tells you to be strong, but I am telling you to be weak. This is the great paradox of my kingdom. In your weakness, my strength is made perfect. You think your weaknesses are your greatest liabilities, the things you must hide and overcome. You see your sensitivity, your past failures, your limitations, and your moments of despair as disqualifications. But I see them as invitations. Your admission of I cannot do this on my own is the most powerful prayer you can utter. It is the moment you stop trying to be the hero of your own story and allow me to be your strength. It is in that moment of surrender that my power rushes in to fill the spaces you have finally emptied of your own striving. This is not a strength that makes you loud and arrogant. It is a quiet, resilient fortitude that enables you to endure. I will be your fortitude in the face of every trial. When you receive a difficult diagnosis, I will be the strength that allows you to face it with peace. When you are navigating a painful conflict in your family, I will be the strength that gives you the grace to love. When you want to lash out, when you feel the pull of an old destructive habit, I will be the strength that empowers you to walk away. This strength is not just for the big dramatic moments. It is for the thousand small battles you fight every single day. So lean on me. What does that look like in your busy life? It looks like pausing for 10 seconds before you answer that frustrating email. It looks like whispering, I need you, Lord, while you are sitting in traffic. It looks like choosing to open my word instead of scrolling through your phone when anxiety begins to rise. Leaning is an act of trust. It is a conscious decision to shift your weight from your own understanding onto mine. I will carry you through the impossible, the mountains of debt, the chasms of grief, the walls of addiction. They may seem impossible to you, but they are nothing to me. This journey of life is not meant to be walked alone. I did not create you for solitary survival. I created you for divine companionship. I am not a distant commander shouting orders from a safe location. I am with you in the trenches, fighting for you, guiding you. And when you can no longer stand, I will lift you up and carry you. Let go of the burden of being strong. Your weakness is your greatest asset. It is the key that unlocks my limitless power in your life. I make your path straight. You spend so much time and energy worrying if you are on the right track, agonizing over decisions, fearing you might take a wrong turn and miss my will for your life. You look at the multitude of choices before you in your career, your relationships, your finances, and you feel paralyzed by the pressure to get it right. So you turn to the left, seeking advice from the world's wisdom, and you turn to the right, chasing after what feels good in the moment. Both paths lead to dead ends and detours that leave you more lost than when you started. I am calling you back to the center, to the one path I have laid before you. This path leads to life, to a peace that surpasses all understanding, and to an eternal reward that will never fade. It is not the easiest path. I tell you the truth. It may be narrow, and at times it will be steep. It will require you to lay down your pride, your selfish ambitions, and your desire for comfort. The world will not understand why you choose this path. It will mock your faith and tempt you with its wider, more popular roads that promise immediate gratification. But those roads are a mirage. They lead to bondage, emptiness, and destruction. My path is the only way to true, lasting fulfillment. You ask, but how do I find this path? How do I stay on it? My word is the lamp that illuminates this path. It is not just a book of ancient stories and rules. It is a living guide, a divine GPS for your soul. When you are standing at a crossroads, unsure of which way to go, open my word. When the darkness of confusion surrounds you, its truth will be a light to your feet and a lamp for your path. Without it, you are walking blind, susceptible to every obstacle and trap. And there are traps. Sin is the snare that seeks to pull you from this path. It is not just the big, obvious sins, but the subtle ones. The bitterness you harbor in your heart, the small white lie you tell to avoid conflict, the envy you feel when you see someone else's blessing, the pride that keeps you from admitting you were wrong. The enemy sets these snares cleverly, hoping you will stumble. But I have given you a way to see them and avoid them. The ultimate guide, the very embodiment of the path itself, is my Son, Jesus. Follow his footsteps, for he is the way, the truth, and the life. Look at how he lived. He walked in humility, served others, spoke truth with love, and lived in constant communion with me, his Father. His life is your map. When you are faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would love do? How would Jesus respond in this situation? His example will never lead you astray. Following this path is a moment-by-moment choice. It is choosing kindness over anger. It is choosing forgiveness over revenge. It is choosing faith over fear. It is not about perfection, it is about direction. When you stumble, and you will, do not stay down in shame. Get up, accept my grace, and take the next step. I am not waiting at the finish line to see if you make it. I am walking this path with you, guiding your every step, holding your hand, and ensuring you reach your destination. Trust me. Keep walking. I have promised, and my promises are unbreakable, that I will never leave you nor forsake you. Let that truth sink deeper than any feeling, any circumstance, any fear. There are moments, I know, when you feel utterly alone. You pray, and the heavens feel like brass. You cry out, and your only answer is the echo of your own voice. In these seasons of silence, you begin to wonder, where are you, God? Have you forgotten me? Have I done something to drive you away? You interpret my silence as my absence. But you must understand this. Even when you cannot feel me, I am there. I have not moved. I am as close to you as your very breath. My presence is not a fleeting emotion that comes and goes. It is a constant, eternal reality. The sun is still in the sky even when clouds obscure it. In the same way, I am with you in the valley of shadows, just as surely as I am with you on the mountaintop of victory. When you are walking through the dark valley of grief, loss, or despair, and you cannot see the path ahead, I am walking beside you, holding your hand. Even if you cannot feel my grip, I am there. When you are on the mountaintop, experiencing joy and success, I am there, celebrating with you, reminding you that I am the source of every good gift. My presence is your greatest comfort and your ultimate protection. You seek security in your finances, your relationships, and your plans. But all of these things can be shaken. I am the only unshakable constant in your life. When the storms of life rage against you, my presence is your refuge, your strong tower, your safe harbor. There is absolutely no place you can go where my love cannot find you. You could run to the farthest corners of the earth, you could hide in the deepest darkness, but you would still find me there, waiting for you with open arms. My love is not deterred by distance or by darkness. It pursues you, surrounds you, and envelops you. So I call you today to live in the awareness of this truth. Acknowledge my presence in every moment of your day. When you are driving to work, acknowledge that I am in the car with you. When you are in a difficult meeting, acknowledge that I am at the table with you, giving you wisdom. When you are tucking your children into bed, acknowledge that I am in the room, watching over them with you. This simple act of acknowledgement changes everything. It turns mundane moments into sacred encounters. It transforms your anxiety into peace, because you realize you are never facing anything alone. It fills your heart with gratitude, because you see my hand at work in the small details of your life. Do not live as a spiritual orphan struggling on your own. You are a child of the King, and your Father is with you always. This is not just a comforting thought. It is the most powerful reality in the universe. Live in it. Breathe it. And let it give you a courage and a peace that the world cannot understand. Just as I have promised to be ever present with you, so I am commanding you to be my presence for another soul lost in the wilderness of loneliness. My voice must travel beyond this moment, and you are the vessel I have chosen to carry it. If your heart burns to be a carrier of my presence, then I am calling you to sow a seed of light into this fertile ground. Your gift becomes the sacred oil for another's lamp, allowing this message to pierce their darkness. I declare over you now, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. As you release your provision, I will command a harvest of peace to guard your house. The hour is urgent. Obey my voice and become a conduit for my hope through super thanks, membership, or the link in the description below. I have just wrapped you in the promise of my unfailing presence. To leave this conversation now would be to tell my spirit, your company is not enough for me. It would wound me deeply to see you choose the noise of the world over my embrace. Today, the divine healing I long to give you requires that you remain here with me. I set my word to heal you, not just to inform you, not just to inspire you, but to fundamentally heal you and deliver you from all your destructions. You have wounds that are so deep, you believe they are a permanent part of who you are. The wound of rejection that makes you build walls around your heart, the wound of betrayal that has stolen your ability to trust, the wound of failure that whispers you should never try again. You have tried to heal yourself, have you not? You have tried to numb the pain with distractions, to reason it away with logic, or to simply bury it under layers of busyness, hoping it will disappear. But the pain remains a dull ache in your soul that surfaces when you are tired, stressed, or alone. My voice, my spoken word, can mend the most broken parts of your heart. It is a divine scalpel that can cut away the diseased tissue of bitterness and shame, and a soothing balm that can stitch together the pieces of your shattered spirit. As you listen to me, as you read my word, you are not just processing information, you are undergoing spiritual surgery. My truth enters your mind and begins to rewire the lies you have believed. My love seeps into your heart and begins to dissolve the hardness that has formed there. I am calling you now to a moment of release. Let go of the bitterness and unforgiveness that has been poisoning you from the inside out. You think you are protecting yourself by holding on to that grudge, but you are only imprisoning yourself. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for you. It is the act of handing me the keys to your prison cell. When you release them, I release you. Let go of the anger you have carried for so long. Hand it to me. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Let me carry it. It is too heavy a burden for your heart to bear. Receive the complete, deep, and lasting healing that only I can provide. I am Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals you. My healing is not a temporary fix or a superficial patch. I heal from the inside out. I bring restoration to your mind, calming the storms of anxiety and silencing the voices of condemnation. I bring restoration to your body, for I am the great physician, and I can command every cell to come into divine alignment. And I bring restoration to your spirit, renewing your hope, reviving your joy, and reconnecting you to your purpose. This healing is available to you right now. You do not have to wait until you are better to receive it. You do not have to clean yourself up first. Come to me as you are, broken, wounded, and weary. Open your heart and let my words wash over you. Visualize my love like a warm, golden light flowing into every dark and painful place within you. See it cleansing, repairing, and making you whole. This is not a fantasy, this is a spiritual reality. My power is present to heal. Stop picking at your old wounds by replaying painful memories. Stop defining yourself by your hurts. Let me give you a new identity. One that is not marked by your pain, but by my healing power. You are not the one who was rejected or the one who failed. You are the one whom I have healed, redeemed, and made whole. This is your new story. Embrace it, live from it, and let your healing be a testimony of my goodness and my grace. I am waiting to give you wisdom. I have offered you my wisdom generously, without finding fault. Now I am commanding you to act on that wisdom by sending this river of truth to those who are dying of thirst, breaking from the world's polluted wells. If you have received my counsel and desire to see it flood the earth, then this is your divine appointment to partner with me. Your gift is not money, it is a seed of heavenly wisdom planted in the soil of this ministry. For I am the one who gives wisdom. From my mouth come knowledge and understanding. As you sow, I will pour out upon you a supernatural discernment that confounds your enemies and makes your path clear. Do not delay. Release your gift in faith now. I have just opened the storehouses of heaven and offered you my wisdom. To turn from me now is to tell me that my counsel is not worth your time. My heart aches at the thought of you stumbling in the darkness when I am offering you my light. You must continue, for I am about to reveal the very Spirit I have sent to be your personal guide. When my son Jesus prepared to leave the earth, he made a promise to his disciples, and that promise extends to you. He said, I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. I have not left you alone to figure out this life on your own. I have sent you a helper, a counselor, an advocate, a comforter, the Holy Spirit. He is not an impersonal force or a vague mystical influence. He is the third person of the Godhead, and he has taken up residence inside of you from the moment you placed your faith in Christ. You are a walking temple of the living God. Let the wonder of that truth settle upon you. The same Spirit that hovered over the waters at creation, the same Spirit that empowered the prophets, the same Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead lives inside of you. This is the source of your power, your comfort, and your guidance. The Holy Spirit has a specific mission in your life. He will teach you all things and will remind you of everything my Son has said. When you read my word and a passage seems to leap off the page and speak directly to your situation, that is the Holy Spirit, your teacher, illuminating the truth. When you are in a moment of temptation and a scripture you memorized years ago comes to your mind, that is the Holy Spirit, your reminder, bringing the sword of the Spirit to your hand. He is your guide into all truth. The journey of faith is a journey into a deeper understanding of me and my ways. You cannot make this journey on your own. Your human intellect can only take you so far. The Holy Spirit is your personal guide, leading you step by step into a more profound and intimate knowledge of me. He is the one who convicts your heart of sin, not to shame you, but to gently lead you to repentance and restoration. You must learn to listen to his gentle promptings and his convictions. His voice is not usually a loud, booming command. It is a quiet nudge, a check in your spirit, a feeling of peace that confirms a right decision, or a sense of unease that warns you of a wrong one. You learn to recognize his voice by spending time in the quiet, by reading my word, and by practicing obedience in the small things. As you do, your spiritual ears become more attuned to his frequency. This message you have received, this intimacy we have shared, this truth that has been poured into your spirit, it is not for you alone. You have received it not as a final destination, but as a provision for a journey you must now undertake. You are now a carrier of my divine truth, a vessel filled with living water that a thirsty world is dying for. You may hear this and immediately feel a wave of inadequacy. You think, but I am not a pastor, an evangelist, or a theologian. I don't have the right words. I am afraid of what people will think. I am afraid I will fail. You are focusing on your own ability, which is precisely what the enemy wants you to do. I am not asking you to have all the answers. I am not asking you to be a perfect orator. I am simply asking you to be a witness, to be my hands and my feet in the world where you already live. This is not about adding a new, burdensome program to your already busy life. It is about changing the posture of your heart within the life you already have. What does it mean to be my hands and feet? It means that when you see a coworker overwhelmed with their workload, you offer a helping hand or a simple word of encouragement. It means that when a friend is walking through a season of grief, you offer the ministry of your presence, sitting with them in their pain without feeling the need to offer cheap platitudes. It means being my feet by walking across the room to speak to the person who is always left out, by walking the path of integrity at work, even when it is the harder road, and by walking in patience with your family when your human nature wants to rush to judgment. Share the good news of salvation through Christ, but understand that you share it as much with your life as you do with your lips. Your life is the sermon that people are reading every single day. The way you handle pressure, the way you respond to being wronged, the way you love the difficult people in your life. These are the things that make the gospel you speak believable. People are tired of empty words. They are looking for authentic faith. I am calling you to be a light in the darkness. A city on a hill. Light does not have to scream to be effective. It simply has to shine. You do not need to be loud to be a light. You just need to be present and authentic. In a world full of cynicism, your genuine hope will be a light. In a world full of selfishness, your quiet generosity will be a light. In a world full of outrage, your steady peace will be a light. Do not hide this light under a basket of fear or insecurity. Let it shine. I have entrusted you with the ministry of reconciliation. This means that you are now my ambassador. You are a representative of my kingdom, called to help reconnect a broken world to a loving Father. This is your highest calling, and it will be fulfilled in the thousands of small, seemingly insignificant interactions you have each day. We have journeyed together through this conversation. You have listened. You have opened your heart. And now, as we draw it to a close, I want to leave you with a final sealing blessing. I bless you now, my child, with my peace, not the world's peace, which is merely the absence of conflict and is as fragile as glass. I give you my peace, a peace that transcends all human understanding. It is a deep, internal calm that can stand unshaken in the middle of a hurricane. It is a peace that will guard your heart and your mind when circumstances are screaming for you to panic. This peace is not something you have to strive for. It is an impartation, a gift I am placing within your spirit right now. Receive it. Let it settle the chaotic waters of your soul. Let these words we have shared be sealed upon your heart and your mind. I am impressing them upon you, not like words written in sand, but like an engraving etched into stone. They are to become a permanent part of who you are, the default operating system for your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. May they guide your decisions in the days to come. When you are faced with a choice, may these truths about my love, my wisdom, and my will rise up within you. May they comfort your soul when you feel alone or afraid, reminding you of my unfailing presence and my eternal promises. And may they ignite your spirit, stirring within you a renewed passion for your purpose and a holy boldness to live out your true identity as my beloved child. You are not leaving this conversation the same way you entered it. Something has shifted. A divine transaction has taken place. Therefore, I command you to walk forward in the authority and anointing I have placed upon you. Stop walking like a spiritual victim, tossed about by circumstances and the opinions of others. You are a child of the King. You have been given my authority to trample on the enemy's lies, to speak life into dead situations, and to walk in victory. The anointing on your life is the tangible presence of my Holy Spirit, empowering you to do what you could never do on your own. Walk in it. Acknowledge it. Rely on it. Remember my everlasting love and my eternal promises. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. When all else fails, when your feelings betray you, when the path is dark, You will stand on these two unshakable pillars, my unchanging love for you and the absolute reliability of my promises. And now this conversation must end, but your new way of living is just beginning. Close this message, but open your life to the beautiful, challenging, and glorious adventure of actually living it. Do not just be a hearer of my word, be a doer. Take what has been spoken in the sacred quiet of this moment and walk it out in the noisy reality of your world. I am with you, I love you, and I am sending you forth in the power of my name. I have blessed you and commanded you to open your life to living this word. The very first act of a doer is to sow into the work of the sower. For a message this sacred cannot be contained, it must be sent. If this word has been sealed upon your heart, then your first step of obedience is to provide the seed that will bring this manna to another hungry soul. This is your moment to prove you are not just a hearer, but a warrior for my kingdom. I now declare over you, he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your seed for sowing. For every seed you sow in this moment, I will command 1,000-fold return into your life and protect it from the devourer. Obey my voice now. Give through Super Thanks, become a member, or use the link in the description. This sacred summons does not end in silence. It awaits the thunder of your response. I have spoken, and now the heavens bend low to hear your reply. Therefore, I command you to seal this word upon your soul with a declaration of faith. Go now and let your obedience be seen by writing with your own hand. I have opened your message. Let your comment be an earthquake to the kingdom of darkness and a testament to the world that you are listening. Do it now and unleash the power of your agreement with my divine will. Amen.